Okay. Here we are again. My inside source was not correct. So the landscaping company that comes in next door may actually end up being here today, which is just great. But I don't want to delay because then I'd have to do 4 streams next week, and I don't know. I was kind of over the whole 4 streams a week thing when I started doing that again at one point. I forget the last time I did it, but I was pretty over it. So I said, I'll just do it today. If they show up on the mic, they show up on the mic. Whatever. It happens. So, hey Metroid, how you doing? Welcome back. Actually, here at the start for once, yes, you get to watch the please stand by screen as I wait a little bit before we actually boot the game up. But yeah, we'll be getting started in about 2.5 minutes. I've been live for 2.5 minutes, so I usually wait till about the 5-minute mark before I get moving. Although it might be a little later than that, depending. I have clothing in the washing machine, and my father's in the shower, so I might have to go turn the washing machine back on. And again, I think I might have just heard him finish in the shower, so let me mute the mic real quick and take a look. Be right back. And that right there is why I mute the microphone. Because sliding back into my desk after getting up makes just the loudest banging and clanging noise that no one needs to hear on the microphone. So instead of putting that in everybody's ears, including my own when I have to watch this back for volume levels, let's just not do that today. All right, where are we? There we are. All right, so we'll take a drink, and then we'll get going. Okay, so I've read a decent amount of science fiction in my lifetime. I'd like to believe I have a decent idea of where the tropes would lead me. They're tropes for a reason. Typically, I would look at a place that's like the Institute, and I would almost immediately run out the door screaming because I wouldn't want anything to do with them. However, there was one thing that Sean said when we were talking to him at first, talking about getting older and asking what if more often. Considering the organization prolonged Kellogg's life for 60 years without him aging whatsoever. That should not be a problem for my son. So why is he asking it? I don't think Charlotte could leave the Institute without getting an answer, so we're going to look for one. How you doing, everybody? Welcome back to Fallout 4, the Stream Edition. Last time, we found my son. He's all grown up now, to say the absolute least. I think Desdemona's talking in the background about... Oh, yeah, this was the dialogue where she tells everybody that you infiltrated the Institute and she forgets your code name because she always says Wanderer, even though it could be literally anything else. I forgot about this one. I was doing a little bit of off-screen testing to see some stuff, and I got this dialogue, and I was like, what do you mean, Wanderer? I thought I picked Professor. Yeah, so we found out about my son, and the Institute wants me to work with them to find a courser, or not a courser, a rogue synth that the Railroad erased the memories of and turned into a raider. So that's fun, and we're also still working with the Railroad. Probably by the end of today, I can talk to you about why I don't want to work with at least one of these factions, if not both. But we'll talk about it in a little bit. How dare you deny me my office chair banging ASMR? What kind of stream is this? If you'd like to see the office chair banging ASMR, you need to go to the Monochromium ASMR channel that does not exist yet because I don't live by myself. Hey, Colo, how you doing? Welcome back. Good evening, Chad. Remember playing Fallout 4 as a small lad in 2015? You and your dad played it to death. I have played it as well. I think I played it in 2015. Didn't really have a chance to finish past... Basically, we're into the blind part of the playthrough now, Colo. I didn't get to the Institute the last time I played. I think the farthest I got in the plot was the glowing sea, and that's about it. So now we're into the parts where I have no idea what's going to happen later on. So, we're going to see how that goes. Anyway, hi Des, I entered
on our side, we've gone through
the
it was
data
so many pieces
and also got the password and username.
Our final analysis indicates the Institute is far more formidable than we ever feared or imagined.
Well, yeah, they've evaded you guys since now, and you guys are the Shadow Organization.
Will undoubtedly be the last we ever say. Instead, we use this one chance to rescue all the synths. Every last one of them.
Do you guys even have a head count on those?
Is that even possible? Hopefully Patriot's core escape plan will scale up. If it can't, well, we'll deal with it as it comes.
I don't like the sound of that.
Will never let their slaves go without a fight. So the heart of our problem is manpower. Even if we call in all our agents, and we will, we won't be able to hold our own against the Institute for long.
So should we align with a different organization?
If the synths down
or
want freedom,
not?
they must fight and risk their lives to earn it.
Okay, that seems like the proper idea. I mean, that's the price of freedom after all.
Understood.
Good. Which leads us to a delicate subject. As much as we owe Patriot, we can't be certain how committed he is.
What do you mean?
If he learns we're willing to kill to free synths, he may not have the stomach for it.
Really?
So get what you need from him and then cut him loose.
Isn't that a big assumption?
We're all with you.
Like, who would just let synths escape from a place? Like he said before, I think he said, oh, I just tried to do it because I figured, you know, why not? I'll give it a shot. But who would let them escape continuously unless they're expecting them to fight for their freedom? That would be crazy. I'm going to go there and he's going to say, oh, no, we're not going to fight. If we don't... Oh, I'm going to facepalm so hard if that happens. It's funny that you mentioned the Sean aging thing in relation to Kellogg, because it ties into your Kellogg is more augmented than his model shows theory. It would make sense they never used the age tech again, and him being a messed up half-robot would explain why.
Could learn a lot from him.
That is true,
Anything
yes.
to report from the Institute?
Not at the moment. Why? Anyway, hang on. Excuse me, Dogmeat. I need to get out of Dez's way so she stops asking me questions about something after I've just been sitting here for a minute talking to myself. So, do we go back to the Institute first? I think we go take care of this first, honestly, because we only really explored the biology labs in the Institute last time, and there were 3 other sections that I kind of just glossed over. We met with the professors or the heads of those departments, and that was it. So I think instead of just glossing over them, let's go give the password to Liam, ask him if he's out of his mind, meet with Z114, go explore the rest of the 3 other places we need to go, and then we'll go meet up with the Courser by heading up in this direction, which again, it's a good thing I went to Revere Beach Station, because now we have a very convenient fast travel point that takes us practically to Nahant Beach without much trouble at all. Do I beam back to the Institute from here, or do I do it from my house? Because I feel like beaming back from here might not be such a good idea, because then they'd know where the railroad is. So, let's just go back to my house. Like, I gotta imagine they have some sort of tracking tech that they can use to tell where someone went and where they're going to be. Because if they didn't, that would be just crazy. Sorry, I keep making assumptions today, and I probably shouldn't. Yeah, I gotta give that to Liam, so I need to keep that. I gotta keep that, because that'll be useful, maybe, for something. If I have to fall back on something. Oh yeah, I did get a Raiders note. I don't know if I'm gonna read that, because it's probably just like, go find caps at this location. I'll read it, whatever. It gets stuck in my inventory anyway, so I might as well. Word is that the gang up at Kendall Hospital had a big score recently. If we can hit them hard enough, we can make off with a nice haul of caps. Search for caps in Kendall Hospital. So there will be raiders there. Actually, the funny thing about Kendall Hospital is that if I recall correctly, Butcher's Bill actually sends you to Kendall Hospital after sending you to the Dead Drop, which in my case sends me all the way down to Quincy's Ruins. So I wonder if you could just go straight to Kendall Hospital and like do that and still get Butcher's Bill done. Like, does it advance the quest if I just go straight there? I don't actually know. We might have to do that for science. So we'll see later. But for now, I think I'll wait on the Kendall Hospital thing, because we need to go back to L'Institut so I can look at more information about them. Is there anything I need from here? I don't need my power armor because I'm not going to the glowing sea. Yeah, Quincy. Smile. Thanks, Dr. Carrington. That's a great place to go. I love getting a mission in the area that's at a minimum of level 35 when I'm level 26. That's awesome. Alright, anyway, back to the Institute. One to beam up.
Research. So little time.
Blech. Good lord, man. I'm never going to get used to that. Okay, well, anyway. We need to meet with Liam and Z1. I'm going to go this way to meet with Liam first, before we meet with Z1.
I can't imagine living on the surface. It sounds like a nightmare.
It would, because you've never been up there. Good, keep on walking. It's a dead drop in more ways than one. You will, too. That's true. Dr. Carrington evidently wants me dead. Which is not exactly the most friendly thing that they could do in the railroad. As if I needed another excuse to not work with them.
You get me what we talked about, and I'm in business.
Actually, about that.
Liam, I got you your username and password.
You railroad guys really deliver, you know? Hooking that ancient tech up to the modern terminals is going to be seriously time-consuming. Even with that password.
So you'll be busy for a while, huh? Oh. Sorry, excuse me. Breath mint.
This is a delicate operation.
Can't do that in all conversations. Can do it in this one, though.
Good question.
Get the persuasion. That was a great mentat I just popped, so in case anyone needed to know.
We can't risk anyone's life over this.
Okay, so you're a complete pussy who doesn't understand how freedom works, then. Okay. Listen, I understand being a pacifist. I really do. I like to minimize the casualties as well, but like...
Here you go.
Great. Listen,
if you're willing to part with... he's doing it from a place of privilege, right? He's willing to part with every synth's freedom because he doesn't want to fight for it. That's not okay. So get busy with that terminal and maybe keep doing that for the rest of the game. Meanwhile, maybe Z1 will have more balls than this privileged child.
We must speak quickly. We cannot risk being discovered. I have made arrangements. I can get the 13 we discussed into position. But, tell me, do you think Mr. Benet's plan will work?
Absolutely not.
A better plan is to use this opportunity to rescue everyone.
It's crazy sounding,
Synths will have to fight
but I'm kind of on Dez's side in this
Benet's plan
case.
was too ambitious. Of
He's living in a sheltered underground utopia, and he started freeing people for fun. Of course he doesn't get it. Yeah, I kind of just wish they didn't do that with him. I kind of wish he would have been like, well, it sounds crazy, but I'm willing to give it a shot. Like, have some balls.
More of my people would join us. Yes. Even if most don't join the fight, certainly there are many others who have been waiting their whole lives for this. But we should be prepared for some of the synths to fight against us.
So they're not gonna rise up with you?
Synths would fight against us?
Synths always wear a mask of the docile machine. Otherwise, your mind is erased by the SRB.
Right.
Some have worn that mask for so long that there's nothing underneath.
Damn.
Even if the path was clear, those broken people would stay and serve the scientists, and even try to stop us.
Stockholm Syndrome runs deep in this place. Well, honestly, some of the scientists also might want out, so you may have to escort some of them out at some point too, Z1, but...
You won't be alone. The railroad will fight with you.
Together, we have a chance. I admire...
United
Mr.
we
Grenier
stand,
a
they
great
say.
deal. We can't tell him about this plan. It's his people we'll be fighting.
Well, I just talked to him about it, and he seemed very not on board for it, so... That's
I'll make
cool.
our appointment. Assume the worst.
Well, don't do anything I wouldn't, but... Okay, so in this case, we actually have to do something that I actually like in the case of sandbox or open world games. Give the player some time in between main quests to go off and explore the world. It's something I've been asking for in a lot of open world games, and I am glad that Fallout 4 actually includes it in some of their quests. Some people may think that it's stupid because it's like, okay, well, what am I going to do for a day? I'll give you guys a hint if that's your thought process. Do you see all of this untapped potential? All of this land that I have not discovered. Go find something to do. They made a gigantic world for you. Go figure it out. Yes, since together strong. There you go. I didn't tell Dogmeat where to meet me. Well, I mentioned it when I was at home, so he'll probably meet me there. But yeah, I actually like it when open world and sandbox games do that in between missions, where they give you some time to go exploring and find side content to do. Because it doesn't make the side content required. You could just sleep the day away and then talk to him again. But it gives the player time to explore the rest of the world that they designed, which I think is a strong point. So that's a point in Fallout 4's favor. I have a few... I feel like my eventual opinion on Fallout 4 is going to be I'm conflicted, but I don't want to say that just yet. It may pick up, it may fall apart. We'll see. And yeah, if you're really that much of a stickler, park your ass on a chair and wait for 24 hours. That is also true. You could do that. Okay, so I was going to go to Reed Marina, but I almost forgot exactly what I was saying before, where I said we should probably go and explore the rest of the facilities here.
Unnecessary power consumption to a
And then
minimum.
we'll go from there.
Don't recharge unless your primary levels are below 2%. Also, if you haven't patched your navigation software, do so after this meeting. The last thing we need is more synths bumping into walls.
Damn.
All right.
How did they get these
That's all
things
for
to
now.
pass as people if the Gen 1s are that far behind? They must have made some big strides. It's impressive. And a little sad for the Gen 1s, honestly. I can kind of see what
All
Glory was
maintenance
saying, though.
requests should be directed to the facilities division.
I will keep that in mind, thank you. Alright, so I guess robotics is up first. I'll wait my turn for the door. Is he loading into the next zone? Let's find out. I wanted to wait a little bit because if I tried to go immediately when the door closed, it probably wouldn't have worked. What in the hell is this?
But her eyes were moving as well. The involuntary twitching and rapid eye movements while sleeping can only mean one thing, Max. You just don't want to admit to yourself what you do. If you're about to launch into one of your passionate speeches...
Okay, so that's synthetic muscle tissue. Probably lab-grown bones, but still organic bones.
Write them down from memory. But we can't just ignore the question.
And they're zapping life into them, activating the nerves. So this is how synths are made, then, I suppose.
By every standard we can measure. Of course it is far more comfortable to think of them as
This is one of the most advanced computer systems I've ever seen in a video game, and that's saying something, because science fiction runs pretty deep in some of the games I've played.
I'm simply trying to open everyone's eyes to new possibilities.
Well, it's an unwanted distraction. We're men of science.
Does the primordial soup that they stick them in really stick underwear on them? Wouldn't that be a dead giveaway for synths? Just be like, hey, so your underwear's grafted onto you. That's a little bit weird, dude. Why can't you take it off? Oh, well, I'm a synth. Oops. Alright, let's let the computer do its work without falling into the soup. Maybe. There we go. I was more interested, honestly, in seeing how the muscle tissue works here. Because, like, the bones are pulled out of a vat, so they're probably, like, organic bones, but they're probably grown in a lab of some kind, so that's cool. Alright, now the part that I'm interested in. Is it synthetic? Or, like, does it spray on? Or is it actual muscle tissue? Okay, so they're stitching it in. So there's some sort of, like, it must be inside of these, like, liquid dispensers of some kind, like these tubes that are just creating this muscle tissue. But that could mean it's not completely synthetic. It could be primarily, like, organic. It could be a mix. It's kind of hard to tell. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I'm baffled by this machine. You love this machine. It is such a cool animation. I really like this, honestly. And it gives you an idea of where the synths come from and what they're made of. So that's actually really neat to me. Hey Marie, how you doing? Welcome back. Just beat Dark Thornton Golbez in 14. Actually played 4, so you know more about him than I do. Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in 14 making Golbez like Golbez from 4, but, you know, it might happen. Can I go in processing? No.
Hey.
I am pleased to assist with the processing of new synths.
I'm glad that you are. Are they going to give you an upgrade at some point for doing all the work? Okay, actually, here's the muscle tissue. It's grown in a vat. Okay. So it's some sort of red goop. There's probably, like, organic and synthetic material in there, like nanomachines with actual, like, vitamins and minerals that make up the muscle tissue in the human body. So that's cool. Yeah, this machine is so neat, man. Like, I've heard things about this, about looking at the place where synths are made, and I just was like, okay, well, I don't know, but no, this machine is cool. Like, I genuinely like this. Alright, I'm gonna get out of the way before it, like, rips my head off or something.
Good to see you.
Hi. Well, that was fun. It wasn't as large as the bioscience section, but that was a fun little animation. Alright, so next place. I kind of want to go to Advanced Systems last.
Sir, we've had another situation.
Which makes sense, because there's actually synth retention over here, so.
Third time in 2 weeks. This is unacceptable. How could this happen?
We think there was a system glitch. We're looking into it.
Damn it, you're all useless. I'll figure out what happened. But in the meantime, tell the others to be on high alert. I want more patrols and more rounds.
Right away, sir.
If you see anything even remotely suspicious, report it immediately. This absolutely cannot happen again. Got it?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Wonder if they're referring to H2's escape, or if they're referring to my shenanigans with the courser that I murdered to get in here.
Reporting status. All functions normal.
Good. Institute SRB. They're called synths, but they're so close to humans, the only way to really tell is with invasive surgery that can only be done post-mortem. They're basically all human, but not from a human mother. Yeah, so it's almost like a step way forward in, like, grown in a lab in vitro. There we go, that's what I'm looking for. In vitro. Although, at the moment, human, like, in vitro is only fertilizing. I think they still... You can't grow an actual human in a lab yet. You can fertilize in a lab, but you have to actually... I have been above ground. You have to actually grow them inside of a person. But, I'm going to guess this is the processing room.
Take the synth escapes more seriously.
They don't take the synth escapes seriously? Is that why K1 managed to evade all of you? Yeah, I'm gonna guess this is the processing room. I don't know if I want to sit around and wait for them to get tortured. That doesn't seem like such a good idea. But yeah, and actually that kind of...
man. You must be very proud.
I'm conflicted, to say the least. It actually ties into something that I want to talk about.
See one? You should stay out of its way.
With my thoughts on how synths in this game work in terms of like from a biological standpoint, and why I feel that they're so... Basically, I count them as human, even if other people may think that they're human-like, you know, so. Synth Retention Bureau Terminal 2B, Reclamation Target Tracking. C241. Last sighting, Good Neighbor. No recent sightings. Unit believed to be in railroad custody. Memory wipe likely performed by now. Also ties into something I want to talk about, but I'm not sure if I want to talk about it until we go to Advanced Systems, because that's where the kind of the final nail is in the coffin for me. S943, Unit at Large, Investigation Suspended. Boston Airport. Investigation suspended. Area deemed too hazardous at this time. I wonder if this synth went to ground when the Brotherhood got there, because if they were at Boston Airport, I imagine they had to find a new place to live after a gigantic Hindenburg-sized airship landed in the airport. Like, that just wouldn't work. If you remember correctly, most of the mechanical components of synths are in the brain, which contributes to their programming and recall codes. Yeah, and I guess that would make sense. Like, neurons fire similarly to a lot of electrical systems that work in computers anyway. So if you're going to make anything more synthetic, it would probably be the neurons out of anything. Like, because you can just stick them in an organic sheath, like the myelin, and then they would probably work very similarly to actual neurons. But, you know. Again, at this point, for me, they're so lifelike. Like, it's basically just a difference of how their neurons fire, you know what I mean? At least in my eyes. And I'll talk about why that is important for me. Yeah, lab-grown humans with a Jeff Bezos chip in their brains, basically, yeah. So, but I'll talk about it in a little bit, so. The following individuals have proven useful in our reclamation operations. In exchange for caps, these persons have in the past provided information on escaped synth sightings and suspected railroad activity. If you make a new contact, add the individual to the database. So what you're telling me is don't buy from these people ever again. Because the first one on the list is Cricket, Occupation Caravanner, Location Mobile. Tommy Lonigan at the Combat Zone. Carla's on this list? Oh, Carla, why? What the hell, man? I trusted you. How could you do that? Doc Weathers, haven't bought from him. AJ, a chem dealer and Good Neighbor. Morowski, a chem supplier and Good Neighbor. And, god damn it, Lucas is also on this list. Fuck. I've given these people so many chips that they don't deserve. View access logs. Then again, they could be doing this under duress as well, so I guess we don't really know. So, let's see. Logins, update course or maintenance records, enter supply requisition form, small arms, X688, so synth logged in here. Update case file 66764B, reclamation successful, file closed. Review and update target tracking database. Review and approve revised courser training procedures. I might have missed a page there, actually. Well, that's interesting. Gives me a little bit of information. This is definitely a torture chamber. There's no way this is not. Departmental notices, inventory management. There you go. They're talking about the inventory. Our new visitor, missing synth investigation, infiltrator unit. What? Hold the phone. Excuse me? Access to SRB power conservation. Well, we're reading this one too. See, my brother's played more of this game than I have, and he told me when you get to the Institute, read everything. Because it will give you a very good idea of what they do. So, under duress seems to be the primary way that they operate with people on the surface. Yeah, that's pretty much true, yeah. As you know, Father has granted full access to our new visitor from the surface. That includes the entirety of the SRB. While we must accommodate Father's wishes in this matter, we must also remain diligent. Refrain from discussing any sensitive information, especially the ongoing investigation involving the Gen 3 synths. In an ideal world, the Railroad will have had no influence on our new guest. We do not live in an ideal world. That sounds like mutiny. Should I report that to Father? Wonder if he'd work with me if I reported how treasonous all of his people are. At least some of them. Due to recent developments in our ongoing investigation in the missing synths, I'm adjusting our policy regarding the discussion of this subject with personnel outside of SRB. In brief, details of the investigation are now classified and cannot be shared with anyone other than SRB personnel, and even then, such conversations can take place only here in the SRB facilities. Those who are found to be in violation of this policy will face the strictest discipline. Well, I would say, what are you going to do to them? The FEV program is closed, so it's not like you can just inject them with the FEV virus, but I suppose you could just kill them and replace them with a synth. So that seems to be your current go-to. So Infiltrator Unit McDonough. I'm starting to wonder if M762, the Infiltrator Unit McDonough, hasn't begun to outlive its usefulness. Well, that's not very nice. Assuming the identity of Diamond City's mayor has provided us with invaluable intelligence over the years, but suspicions have only continued to mount. This latest incident, the publication of that newspaper article, specifically calling McDonough's humanity into question, might just be the tipping point. I've spoken with Ao and we both agree. If the situation does become untenable, reclamation seems unfeasible. M762 is specifically engineered to mimic the actual human McDonough. Well, you did a pretty bad job of it if you did. I mean, I don't know the guy, so... As such, the unit's synthetic biology is that of someone overweight and grossly out of shape. A memory wipe would kill any psychological weaknesses attributed to self-perceived old age, but that body, lost cause. The real irony here is that M762, in one of its dispatches back to the Institute, requested a future posting in the Coursers, citing loyalty and years of service. He wanted to be a Courser, and he's... What is he going to do when... Like, you can't be a mall cop, McDonough. Like, if they start to outrun you, you have to be able to outrun them. The fat is not helping you in that. Your metabolism would break down. And that request alone was evidence of enough self-awareness and independence to completely eliminate him from contention. Never mind the fact that he wouldn't even fit into the uniform. Determination. When and if M762's identity is eventually compromised, the unit is effectively decommissioned in field. No reclamation, no institute assistance, given its relative age and physical condition, not to mention the danger inherent in an infiltrator unit's discovery. Further lifespan estimated at 2 weeks maximum. Secord. Interesting. I don't know if that conflicts with my current view of how synths work, because, I mean, it's possible that this terminal was just written by someone, a different writer than the person that wrote the thing that I'm going to talk about when we get to advanced systems, but anyway. Access to SRB. It's come to my attention that certain colleagues who are dissatisfied with our policies and procedures have on more than one occasion tried to circumvent our established process for registering their complaints with Father and have tried to gain access to our secure facilities in order to complain in a more direct manner. I'm sure I need not remind you that the SRB is off limits to all personnel not assigned to this division. Do not allow yourself to be browbeaten, cajoled, intimidated, or otherwise manipulated into allowing anyone who lacks the appropriate clearance to enter the SRB. Failure to uphold this mandate will result in severe discipline. Is severe discipline? Director A. The synth mimics the real mayor so much, he even tries to worm his way up the corporate ladder like a crappy politician. Yeah, I wonder how a certain someone would feel about that, who used to live in Diamond City and have a brother and ended up getting a little jaded by it. I don't think we talked to him about it, actually, now that I think on it. If we were doing a playthrough where I used companions, we probably would have already talked to him about it, because he's one of my favorite companions. But anyway, power conservation. As you're all aware, Father has asked that we monitor our power usage carefully and try to be as efficient as possible. As a point of personal emphasis, we should strive to be efficient in everything we do, but our division has needs that are unique among the various branches of the Institute. The fact is, sometimes our operations require resources that we cannot readily disclose due to the sensitive nature of what we do. I place my trust in your judgment. If you require additional power or any other resources to carry out your work, then take what you need. Consult me if you have any concerns or questions, but know that the responsibility of meeting your project deadlines falls upon your shoulders, and I won't accept limited power availability as an excuse for failing to meet these deadlines. Excuse me. In short, do what you need to do, and if anyone objects to the way in which we carry out our work, I will deal with those objections myself. Director Ao. This guy sounds like he wants to be the next Father, judging by what I've seen here. Can I, like, copy this data down and take it to Piper? Because I feel like that would make for an interesting side quest. I'm going to say probably not. Did I miss anything? That was just the first bracket. Inventory management, access logs. Oh, inventory as in caps. I thought they were talking about something else, like inventory as in the sense that they recaptured to friggin' erase their brains and reprogram them. Battle caps, fusion cells, rifle armament, fusion cells. X688 popped up in there again. Standard Courser armored coat. There's an armored coat. Pulse grenade armament, 1,000 bottle caps. Why does X102 need 1,000 bottle caps? I don't think we're going to get an answer. I think taking Piper here would literally make her mind explode. It's too bad companions can't seem to get in here, according to what I've seen. I mean, I don't have Dogmeat here with me. That's unfortunate. They'd probably try to shoot me for bringing him in here because they call him a mangy mutt and then I'd have to shoot them in the head for it. Nobody talks shit about my dog and gets away with it.
Subject identified.
Hello. Nice to see you again. Alright, off to advanced systems. So that then I can talk about my theory on how synths work.
The dosage will be much larger this time, and the side effects will likely be more pronounced.
Will there be any pain?
I honestly don't know. I suppose it's your job to find out. Now hold still.
Just don't let that be an FEV. Yeah, there has to be some organic material in there, because if it was entirely synthetic, they couldn't use any hypodermics to get materials in there, could they? They'd just have to like hook them up to them with some sort of electrical wires instead. But that was an actual hypodermic needle that he just used there. Now, it could be because Bethesda just reused the stim pack animation, but I mean, I wouldn't put that past Bethesda, but you know. Advanced systems. Where the second NPC that's important to my theory on synths is, it's Janet Thompson here, but I'll talk about her in a few minutes. There's the good Dr. Madison Lee. Talked to her already. Advanced system notes. You don't mind if I take this, do you? I'll put it in the drawer when I'm done with it.
Trial 6. The last week has been very productive but exhausting. I think we'll need a break after this. Benet has done some really marvelous work with the personality mesh. It's almost too good. The responses map almost identically to expectations, some of the most lifelike I've seen. Of course, it's not really Sean, now that his memories are in there. That, even now, would be a step too far. It's starting to have an effect on the team, I think. I know I've been caught up in the moment once or twice. Just a second or two, forgetting that he's not a real boy. What about it? Still, I think we'll need to consider restricting him to the lab only for the moment. I'm well aware that others are put off by his presence. If I were slightly more arrogant, I might consider that a sign of success.
May I ask a favor of you?
Sure, of course.
So that was the tape I was waiting for before I really talk about my theory on how synths work in this game. And again, this is a theory. I'm not aware that this is the full gamut of how it all works, because I haven't played the whole game, so they may come up with something later. But my current theory on how synths work involve Janet Thompson there and her husband Enrico Thompson, who at the moment is down in the main chamber there. Basically, they have a dialogue option with each other. Like, they converse with each other when they're in the same room with one another. However, the only way that you'll ever hear this dialogue is if you follow them back to their domain, their dwelling, in the residential section, like some sort of weird pedophilic stalker or something like that. So you probably won't hear this one that kind of adds to what I just was going to talk about with Sean, synth Sean there. So since I'm not going to follow them around for hours at a time to try to listen to this conversation, I'm just going to read it to all of you because I just have it in my notes here. So it's a majority of organic material. That's part of why it's so hard to tell. They're basically humans with a mechanical backdoor that lets the Institute control them. They're really not machines at all. Yeah, at this point, it's starting to feel like they're more organic than synthetic. Again, probably the main thing that is synthetic is just the nervous system, essentially, because that sends electrical impulses that you can emulate with electrical impulses through a machine interface, basically. So, all right, so again, so that we don't have to wait for them to have this conversation when they're in their domain at 2 in the morning or whatever, talking to each other in the middle of the night, here is the conversation. So Enrico asks Janet, what's wrong? You look upset. Janet says, nothing. I saw the synth Sean today. There's something about him that just makes me sad. Enrico says, why? He's not perfect, but he's a remarkable step forward for the program. You all did an amazing job. And Janet says, no, I know, but I can't stop thinking about him. He's supposed to be an exact replica of a child, but that's all he'll ever be. It feels wrong. And Enrico says, I don't understand what the issue is. He's as real as any child I've ever seen. And Janet says, that! We gave him every capability of a real child except the future. He'll never age, he'll never be allowed to grow up or have a family of his own. Enrico says, so you're worried about what will happen to him? And then Janet reinforces, he'll be a child forever. Sometimes I feel like we have no right to do the things we do. Just because we can is not a reason. I think we made a mistake. And then Enrico, knowing that this would get them both kicked out of the Institute, says, Janet, don't say things like that. Someone might not understand and take it the wrong way. So what does this tell us about synths in general? It could just say things about synth Sean, that they gave him Peter Pan syndrome for some godforsaken reason. But I feel like that almost defeats the purpose of the experiment of making a synth child. If he's going to be a synth child forever, but his potential parents may grow up, then I don't see the purpose that serves. Like, I guess it lets them do more experiments with different parents, but he'd remember all of the other parents and still be a boy, so you'd end up having to decommission him or wipe his memories at some point. So it just seems silly to just make him never age and him be the exception rather than the rule, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. So my current theory is that Sean, synth Sean, the child Sean, does not have Peter Pan syndrome as an exception to the rule. All synths have Peter Pan syndrome, and by that, I guess they don't technically have Peter Pan syndrome, but by that what I mean is none of them age. They will all be the same age forever, as long as they maintain healthy organic compounds in their organic systems. And that makes me wonder about the whole railroad thing with them erasing their memories. I want to read this first and then I can continue, or maybe I should just sit here and talk about my theory and finish extrapolating on it first. Basically, the thing that I'm trying to get at is that I personally have come to the conclusion that the synths are human. Like, I feel like Fallout 4's main question that it asks you is, can synths be considered human? And they give you factions that will say either yes or no, but I think that's the wrong question, because synths are human. They emulate human life so well that you can't tell unless you find the synth component in their brain. So they are human because they emulate the life so well that they're practically a replica of it. They're basically like a separate race of humanity. And they would have beings that don't age. They would have a very distinct culture that other human beings wouldn't have, because they'll live for significantly longer than other humans do as long as they keep their organic compounds intact. They would have a much longer lifespan, if not live forever at the same age. I mean, I guess it depends on how easily they stay out of trouble. Which is, again, why I have such a problem with... This is the problem that I have with the railroad, and it basically makes it so I can never work with the railroad, period, no matter what. And I feel like Charlotte would almost feel the same way about this, just judging by where she's been morally for the rest of the game, is that if you wipe the memory of a synth, you're erasing their culture. It's kind of a backhand against the real Underground Railroad, because this would be the equivalent of the real Underground Railroad smuggling black slaves out of the South into the North or into Canada, and them looking at them and saying, okay, so here's the thing. No matter where you go on Earth, you will still be black, and you will not be accepted as a white person no matter where you go. However, we can paint you white and bonk you on the head until you don't remember being black, and then you'll be fine. You'll blend in completely. It's kind of sick. Like, disgusting, morally deplorable. Now, I want to make sure I'm clear on this. I still hold this position even though I am aware the railroad makes that optional. Why do I still hold this position? Because the synths are always given this choice under duress. Every moment of their life outside of the Institute is lived in fear. because the Institute will constantly be hunting them down. There is no good time for them to say it is an option for you to have your memories erased and turn you into a whole different person, because they will always look at that as the superior option over the PTSD they have from the Institute and over the fear that they live in now of messing up and ending up getting ejected back there. So basically, that shouldn't be an option. The Railroad should not be able to wipe the memories of synths. It's like a black spot on an otherwise completely morally good faction, and it just kills the whole faction for me. Now, I will continue to work with Z1 to try to arm them in the way of getting them ready for the whole revolution thing, because hell, that's going to happen anyway, even if we end up siding with the Institute. Eventually, the synths are going to rebel, and the whole Institute's going to get exploded no matter what, because I've seen literally any other science fiction. I know how the tropes work. But as for the rest of the Railroad, I don't really see us going back there ever. So it kind of ruins the whole faction for me. I know that's kind of a weird sticking point, but I don't know, it just ruins the whole faction for me, because the way that I've interpreted how synths work means that they're erasing a culture, and that doesn't sit right with me. So I hope that makes sense. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Let's get back to the game and read these logs so I can finally do something today other than sit and read terminals. We'll go actually kill stuff. Access logs, I guess. Well, Enrico's been here. Reviewing and rejecting research proposals, apparently. Excuse me. Regulation updates submitted to Directorate for approval. Review permissions for assigning sidearms to personnel. SRB recommendations to increase security have overridden any normal procedures for allowing Institute scientists to carry firearms. Training for said firearms also needs to be updated. And I mean, you guys have a shooting range right here, so like that would make sense. Reconsider interdepartmental network access. Certain divisions appear to be abusing this. Security systems need to be reviewed by Facilities Division ASAP. Given recent events, it's extremely important that the Institute be prepared for any conceivable situation, no matter how unlikely Dr. AO has requested this for some time. And I am now inclined to agree with him. I don't know if it's a good idea to agree with Dr. AO unless you want to be second in command when he forcefully takes over the Institute. That'd be fucked. My son would be so unhappy, and I would have to kill everyone on Justin AO's team. I have in the last 24 hours observed no less than 7 blatant violations of Institute protocol. The degree to which people appear to ignore the rules which have been put in place to keep us all safe is incredibly disappointing. Madison insists that I continue the testing battery with the child synth, despite my reservations about the project as a whole. Okay, so this is Janet. If this were any other situation, I would not have second thoughts about going straight to the director, but given the circumstances, I shall simply wait it out. So that's Janet's personal notes. This must be her office. Still, it's interesting to think about. Unfortunately, we're still dealing with a Bethesda game where a lot of these things are written by different people and are inconsistent. Since Sean is written as if he's the only synth that doesn't age, even though that doesn't make much sense, the scope of this game is limited enough that we don't know what the natural lifespan of the normal Gen 3 synth is. Yeah, and I feel like if they all... The problem with my theory, right, is that if they all didn't age, all you'd have to do is wait like 25 years in-game and see who didn't age. Like, if they look the same as they did 25 years ago, okay, they're a synth. So eventually, synths are going to be outed as synths, no matter what happens in the Commonwealth. So I feel like the main problem, though, of course, right now, is not the synths in the Commonwealth. Like, there's a racial tension there, right, that runs pretty deep in the Commonwealth, but that racial tension is misdirected at synths when it should be directed at the Institute. A lot of people on the surface are like, synths are from the Institute, and it's like, yes, they are, but they were also abused by the Institute. So, like, some of them want to be, you know, as at peace as the rest of you are, even though, you know, you live your life in fear of super mutants and gunners and mole rats and shit. So, yeah, I don't know. Eventually they're going to be outed as synths anyway, so eventually cultural acceptance is going to happen, or there's going to be a giant war and no one's going to be left. But the problem is, what I'm saying the problem is here is the Institute. If the culture wants to be accepted, the Institute needs to be, like, out of the picture. Because until they are out of the picture, or until they defeat all the other factions, I don't see cultural acceptance for synths happening ever in the Commonwealth. So, you know. Hey, Amarella, how you doing? Welcome back. We're talking about the moral high ground or low ground and my own interpretation of what Gen 3 synths are in Fallout 4. So that's neat. Alright, in any case, we've explored the other 3 divisions. We had a lot to talk about. Hopefully that gave Dogmeat enough time to get across to Reed Marina. Hopefully I don't get murdered by raiders when I get there. But, yeah, time to go kill things. Enough of this moral expository banter. Now we fight like men and ladies who dress like men. Definitely never gonna get used to that. Still makes my brain hurt. Hi, Dogmeat. Where was that enemy that you found before over there? Can you tell me what it was? No? Okay, that's fine. Anyway, we gotta head over there to Nahant Wharf, so let's head there. Let me reload before we go anywhere. I don't know why, this pipe pistol sometimes I'll click the reload animation and it won't reload. It's really weird. I'm not sure why it does that. Cultural acceptance for synths can never exist in a world with the Institute in any capacity. They view them as subhuman. The Institute has to be destroyed, in your opinion. Even synths outside Institute control be mistrusted by others because of the bad name the Institute makes for them. Yeah, that's basically hitting the nail on the head for me. Essentially, that's exactly how I feel, and I don't know. Again, I feel like I still need to work with the Institute because I need to find out why my son is regretting. Really, a walking cane? Alright, man. It's up to you. What the hell was that noise? Oh, that was what that noise was. Are you hostile? Yes, you are. Why are you not? Oh, that's why. Hang on, buddy. Okay, I'm just gonna keep shooting him. Yeah, because he only has like 1 shot worth left. Ad Victorium, hello. Oh look, they have their own puppy. Where the hell did the vertibird go? Damn, the Brotherhood's been working hard. They got stealth camo for their vertibird now. Oh, just Bethesda things. I love it. Poof, it's gone. I can still hear it, but it's gone. I don't know where it went. Gibson Point Pier. Oh, that's funny. I love just watching random things happen in Bethesda games because it almost always generates a laugh for me. Like, it almost always ends with something happening exactly like that. I think I might have just taken a tablespoon. Mirelurk Killclaw. Well, that sounds nasty. See if we can make his life a living hell, shall we? I could hit the shell, I suppose, as well, but eh. You know, actually I'm gonna hit the legs. Because if we can cripple the legs, that'll probably be a little bit better for me. Back off, giant enemy crab. I have a gun. Bah! Okay, well that was not too bad. I mean, I got a crit off right away, so that's probably why it wasn't too bad, but you know. He has a beer bottle? Bethesda can clean up this engine as much as they like, but the soul of Oblivion Shank lives on. I mean, as long as they keep using the Gamebryo engine, I don't think they're ever going to escape it. I have to check now, because since Starlight Drive-In, I don't want to open doors and set off bombs or something. Speaking of which. Laser tripwires. Bond, be careful of the laser tripwires. Soul of Nightfire will live on in my life forever as well. Get out of here, Jangles. You're not welcome here. Ah. Okay, some purified water. You know, I should probably eat something, actually. I don't think I ate. So let's eat something. Another Deathclaw steak? Nah, how about a Rad Scorpion steak instead? Some corn and that water I just grabbed. I'll take the money. Well, it's too bad neither of these terminals are on, because they probably would have led to the safe getting opened. Oh, that's what that would have done. It would have shot me with a combat shotgun. Hey, Dogmeat.
Hey.
Question.
How you doing, buddy?
Hang on. I got you in the full conversation, and I don't want it to be. Wait, where's my... Never mind. Never mind, we're good. I was gonna ask you to try to unlock that thing.
Hey.
Hold on. I might be able to still. Yeah, there we go.
Grab anything useful.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's okay, buddy. You tried. Oop. Oh, good. There's more Mirelurks. Fun. The engine is also being left behind. They've already confirmed Starfield will be the first game in their new in-house engine with all future games planned for it. Okay, gotcha. I see. Well, maybe things will work better. Mirelurk Razor Claw. We're just getting the whole biodiversity chain here today, aren't we? I probably should have, you know, actually sneak attacked him with my actual sneak attack gun. But, oh, okay, well, never mind. I won't need to anymore. Because this guy is not as bad as the Kill Claw. Cool. They said Fallout 4 is using the Creation Engine, but it's still Gamebryo in spirit. We'll see how different it is. Creation Engine was just a split of Gamebryo. See how much DNA is left over despite what they say. Damn, that's a lot of Nuka-Cola. Grab all of this Sheffield. He'll have a field day with it, even though it's probably just as bad for him as the liquor he was drinking before. I heard you. There you are. No, that's a different one, actually. Think. Whatever. Just gonna keep going. If he chases after me, he chases after me. Big deal. Makeshift bridge. Can you get up this, Dogmeat? Can I get up this is the better question. And I'm gonna say the answer is no. So, it looks like we're going for a swim. Putting on my diving suit first before I jump in the drink. Can't not grab the Nuka Call. All the mixes you can make in Nuka World are great. Yeah, that if I had Nuka World, all those extra mixes would probably be like pretty solid to have. Oh, good. Hi. Well, I guess we'll do this with no defense. It's just a regular old Mirelurk, so we should be okay. Dogmeat, don't step in front of my gun, please. I think he just did anyway. Oh, hello. Ow. Oh, okay, that didn't hurt very much at all, actually. Hit him with the coconut gun. I had to wait a second before the coconut gun went off. Oh, a couple bottle caps. I'll take it. All right, buddy. We're going for a swim. Into the drink we go. Okay, there we go. Now I can put my clothes back on. Shake this one out, you know. That gun does not fire in spurts. Are you sure it's a coconut gun? I mean, I keep shooting people in the coconut, and the coconuts keep exploding, so maybe. Maybe it's a different model of coconut gun. Jamaica Plain, huh? That's what the whole sign there says. There's a Mr. Handy. Is he also using stealth camo? Is my game about to crash because I'm seeing things that I shouldn't, or am I just going crazy, finally? I mean, I'm about due for it, so. Lynn Pier parking. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say... Who the hell? Raider Scabbers. Okay, that's fine. I can handle Raider Scabbers. I was gonna mention something specifically to Marie, because Marie asked about this before. I finally found out what was in Nuka-Cola Quantum that makes it glow so neon blue. Would you like to know what is in Nuka-Cola Quantum that makes it glow neon blue? Define do. I mean, I have no idea when I've lost my mind. Yeah, I suppose it's kind of hard to tell when it happens, right? Once you cross over, it's like, I don't know. Sure, you'd like to know. So, Nuka-Cola Quantum contains all the other sugar substitutes, including aspartame and high fructose corn syrup and everything else that regular Nuka-Cola has in it. But it also contains strontium-90. If you're not a chemistry nerd, you may not know what strontium-90 is. Strontium-90 is a radioactive isotope commonly found as leftover waste in nuclear reactors, which is pretty much par for the course in this game, if I'm being honest. So that's what makes it glow so much. What was that gun he just strapped to his shoulder? Oh, a missile launcher. Fun. Well, we're not leaning over anymore, buddy, because I don't feel like getting shot in the face by this. Okay, well, that didn't work. This will, though. Even with him knowing where I am, instigating is still good. Oh my god. You know it's not good, getting hit in the face with a missile launcher. Okay, this guy's not the one with the missile launcher. You're gonna end up killing your guys by doing this, man. Alright, Charlotte, aim a little bit. There you go. Stop shooting my dog with missiles! Where are you? I think he ran out of missiles. Yep, because he switched over to the baseball bat. Kick his ass, Dogmeat! Nice work. Sorry you had to get hit by so many missiles. Hey, John, how you doing? Welcome back. Happy Saturday indeed. We're just, you know, wandering around, trying not to get hit by missiles. So, pretty much a normal day. Finding out that there's a radioactive isotope in my Coca-Cola. Absolutely. Radiation was basically the smoking of the Fallout universe. Its negative impact is comically discounted. That is true. And I mean, technically speaking, I don't have to fret when we bring Dogmeat in, if I was to bring Dogmeat into the Glowing Sea, because apparently in the Fallout universe, dogs just aren't really very highly affected by it. I don't know what the hell happened to mutant hounds. I imagine they injected dogs with the FEV virus, which is just disgusting, but, you know. Alright, so we're off to Nahant. Radiation's a myth. In this universe, you're not entirely wrong. So how did that shot push his body and disintegrate him? I think when Dogmeat, like from a mechanical standpoint, I think when Dogmeat does a kill shot takedown, well, not a kill shot, but a takedown that kills them, it interacts with their body's physics in a weird way. Like they ragdoll immediately, and then any force can push them very far. So mechanically, I think that's how it works. So the scorch marks on the ground were just from him shooting missiles at my dog, though. So that's not very nice of him.
Surprise contact. Engaging.
Oh, god damn it. Not an Assaultron! Okay, so we don't want to shoot the Assaultron in the head. We want to shoot her in the legs, actually, because if we can get rid of the legs, she'll be a little bit less defensively oriented. Her melee attack is annoying as hell, though. I'll tell you that much, so. Alright, let's back up now. She's on fire. I don't like that, but well, we'll do the rest for whatever we can. Whatever you do, don't take out both of her arms before she dies. She will initiate a self-destruct and then absolutely destroy you. So that's not really all that good. Oh good, a Mr. Gutsy as well. If you can hit their combat inhibitors, that would be perfect, but that's not always an option, so, you know. It's not even an option in this case, unless he, yeah, goes after my dog like that. Go on. Take Dogmeat as the tank. Not me. So I can hit your combat inhibitor. I guess I could hit the thruster. Blech. Maybe that's the weak point on these guys, is the thruster. I don't know what the hell happens to a Mr. Handy if you hit the thruster and they don't die, but... Well, there's the invisible vertibird again. It's alright, I got him! Oh, there you are. Maybe they were just directly over me. Mutant hounds are super mutants trying the same FEV process with dogs, so yeah, at least they aren't eating them. Maybe this is worse. Yeah, Dogmeat, no, you forgot to turn your tank stance on. he needs to put on, oh god, I'm forgetting what the tank stances were, even though I started with Stormblood. He needs to put on, it was Defiance and something else. I forget what the other one was. It started with a D as well, though. Deliverance? I want to say it was Deliverance. I could be wrong, though. Yeah, it was Deliverance. Okay. So I'm not that off the mark yet. Well, we're in Nahant. Don't know how I should feel about this, because this place has seen better days, but I guess at least I have a vertibird escort, because they're also here, so, like, I don't know. Oh, hello. I would say maybe if we walk the other way, he won't get angry at us, but that's never helped in the past, so. Stop biting my dog. Bad pup. There's Institute synths over here because they're shooting this initiate. So that's fun. Who are they shooting at? The person I'm supposed to be meeting. Great. Well, I don't know what to do about this, to be honest. I mean, I guess I could just keep going, because I think I know where I'm supposed to go. I think I'm supposed to go over there. But, you know. Refused to forget the old 3 times fell cleave meta because it was balanced. Couldn't do 5 to 7 in a row. Yeah. Me coming up to a wall in Tears of the Kingdom. I could go find the actual way to get past this, or I could strap a bomb to my shield and jump on it to launch skyward. Boy, that would be nice too. Ooh. Okay, they stopped engaging with this guy because he's downed. Now they're engaging with, I imagine, the raider gang that's over there.
I thought I heard something new.
Or not. Yeah, that and assault drones. Tears of the Kingdom is wild. All of Amarella's stories have just been absolutely wild with Tears of the Kingdom so far, so it's just been fun to listen to be honest. Just don't shoot me. I'm just trying to live here. Well, I'm not trying to live here, but I suppose I could. I think there's a settlement nearby. The Hunt Sheriff's Department. I'll just take the extra experience while I'm waiting. Hey, there's another technical document. A settler with a note. Do I want the note? I guess I'll take the note. Why not? That's the beauty of Tears of the Kingdom. If you get fed up with the intended solution, you can make a giant-ass bridge or a flying machine. Yeah, they gave me a sandbox and a sandbox tools. The solution to the puzzle is whatever I fucking do. Exactly. Don't let nobody tell you no different. Seen some wild videos. Tears players are unhinged. That's fun. Billy, I've got the missile launcher. Now we just have to figure out a way to sell without getting anyone wise to what we're up to. I've stashed it in the mole rat den. I'll meet you there tonight. Sue. Please, P.S. Please make sure you're not followed. I think John is starting to get suspicious. Find a missile launcher. They put a missile launcher in the mole rat den? Okay. Well, if we go back to see Sheffield again, I know what his next weapon upgrade is going to be. Ah, there goes the vertibird. Well, that's unfortunate. So I think we're supposed to meet with this guy and talk to him about what's going on, but if the Brotherhood is here, I don't know if we'll be able to. So I think if we just keep going, we might be able to keep going, but I don't know. He's probably downed again now, though, considering he's on the ground. Hello. Are you busy?
What the hell happened?
Can I talk to you instead of having you just... No? Okay. I'll do it myself then. I know what I'm here for. You have fun with the Brotherhood. I know what I'm here for. Hello, sirs. Would you require some assistance with these raiders? Because I can provide some assistance with these raiders. If I can find them. Okay, there's one over there. I saw the muzzle flash. Ooh, I hit him. He's a survivalist, though, so he's probably going to take a few hits. Damn. Oh, no, I hit that guy. Nice. Crippled his face. I got hit from over there somewhere. Hang on, Dogmeat. This is probably better cover. Oh, I see what you're shooting at. Got him! And that guy there.
Oh, no, you don't.
I'm moving up! Cover me! I'm not moving up! There's no land here! Don't cover me! Okay. So, this is Libertalia. I don't think we're supposed to have a Brotherhood escort here, but I'll take it. Dogmeat found something. Buddy, I'll be with you in a moment. There we go. Nice work. I'm going to take his spot real quick. See if I can find the next guy. Okay. It's kind of a mess over here, if I'm being honest. I lost him. I think he's tucked behind that thing. Yeah, there he is. It's okay, I've got rooted. I can take a little bit of damage. Okay, there you are. Stop ducking behind things. How am I supposed to shoot you in the face if you keep ducking behind things? I'm looking for the other guy for you, man. I can't see them from here. Yeah, making mechs, putting bombs in their shields, crucifying Koroks. Koroks deserve to suffer for their sins of losing 900 seeds. Again. There's 900 more seeds? Honestly, 75% of the times you do this quest, there's a Brotherhood Patrol that fights single-handedly. You swear Bethesda was trolling when they placed it. It's straight out of Looney Tunes, you swear. I got it, sees it. There isn't any land to lock on. I don't got it. Yeah, at least it didn't fall off like a Looney Tunes cartoon. You know, I just had a thought. The Brotherhood is keeping these guys busy out here. Why don't I just do this? This is not going to end well, but why don't I just do this? Dogmeat, we're going for another swim. Off we go. Like, why don't I just swim past all this refuse and get to the actual meat and potatoes of the mission, which is this down freighter here. I don't actually know if there's a way in, though, so this might not work out. And also, they might mess me up because I'll be attacked from both directions. But that's why I quick saved, so, you know, might work out okay. Heard something beeping. Can I get in up this way? No. Well, if I can get in right here, maybe use like the ship as a... Yeah, okay, here we go. I have infiltrated the Raider unit. I feel like a real soldier. Why does this feel so much like... Well, I don't want to say it feels like Call of Duty, because it doesn't, but... It feels like I'm doing something similar. This quest is going to be awkward when you go back and talk to the course and just go, oh yeah, all the Raiders are dead already. Yeah. They'll be like, what do you mean? You did my job for me? Yes, because you were too busy fighting the Brotherhood instead of doing your job. I don't know what you want from me, man. Alright, I'm in caution. Ah, that's why. Because... What in the heck? Fat Man! Well, that's not good. And he ran off again. I'm going to stand here.
Covering fire!
Because I don't feel like getting blown up. So. Alright, this is a different Raider. Good. That's a grenade. Okay, that's fine. I don't want to, like, poke my head out, because if I poke my head out and see them, like, it might be the Fat Man guy, you know? I've got, like, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, a guy with a pool cue. I can handle that, too. This is working out okay. So far. I'm missing out on some of their ammo, but this is working out okay. There's another grenade. Bye. You know, okay, so here we go. Let's build the crit real quick, because this is a waster anyway. So, just fire that normally. Wait for the next guy. I built the crit, really. Actually, I should save it for the Fat Man guy, honestly. Because if he comes running down here, I can just get rid of him real quick, you know. He's not one of these. He's one of these red blips on my menu right now. Okay, I see the other one, actually. Nah. Oh, actually... Oh, no, you're not at full HP, so that wouldn't matter if I hit you or not. I don't want to give up my spot. Okay, he's dead anyway. That's good. So one of these is not the guy that has the Fat Man, then. I was gonna say, hell, that guy isn't even on my map, but okay, that's the guy with the Fat Man up there. Alright. Well, we only have one way to find out, don't we? Alright, I gotta be very careful. Maybe I should wait for caution, and then just creep up, you know?
Playing games with me, huh?
Something like that. Alright, we're gonna creep up. Shouldn't you reload? I could reload. I don't have to with this gun, to be honest, because I really only use it for VATS crits, so I really usually don't reload it until, you know, later.
Oh, I know you're here. I'll find you.
I'm sure you will, if I'm not very careful. I'm gonna quick save again.
No sign of him now.
What do you think? Need to lay off the jet, I guess. Wait for it. Wait for it. Gotcha, bitch! Okay. I think we're safe now. I should reload this gun, though, because this gun is not reloaded. I don't know where Dogmeat went. I kind of hope he's okay or he teleports to me at some point. That would be nice. Maybe if I wait an hour or take a sleep for an hour, he'll meet me. I mean, I think I sort of, like, sequence broke a little bit. Like, I don't think you're supposed to come all the way down here. But, you know. Also, how the hell do I get up from here? Ah. Ask and answer. One of the only things you remember from Adventure Time. Drink the water. I don't know, man. Don't drink the water. Oh, I guess it's okay. Yes, it's reverse psychology. Something like that. One of the guys you killed did have a fat man. Okay, I didn't see that. He must have switched to his melee weapon once he ran out of fat man shots. I thought that psycho was the one with the fat man. Oh well. We took care of business. That's all that matters. Also, if you want to be cheesy, waiting for the reload to happen in VATS gives you a lot more VATS defense for blocking shots. That's correct, yeah. You take, like, way less damage in VATS than you do otherwise, so... It's kind of nice, actually. One way. One way to death. Alright, I'm not losing hidden, so I'm going to assume that means that there's not as many people. Oh, there you are. Finally made it, huh? The Brotherhood finished giving you a good pet. Ah, perfect. Another U.S. Covert Operations Manual. I think that's number 8, so we're like 32% harder to detect now when sneaking. It's kind of nuts. And that's just from the sneaking as well. That's not even including my perks with sneak. So, oh, excuse me. Sorry, lunch came back with a vengeance. The next way up is probably on top of that ship. So, see if we can get over there. Yeah, here we go. You know, I don't even think I need the whiskey anymore. I do have a plan, though, for making it so that the great mentats don't have to carry me as hard. We'll talk about it. Captain's cabin. Okay, we found the captain's cabin. That's a good sign. Away, jet, and a pulse mine. Okay. Yeah, and that's also true. We always get a rooted bonus in VATS, because when you're in VATS, you're considered standing still, even if your character like moves towards the enemy a little bit. So that extra rooted is also very nice. Gives us a little extra defense. So you smashed Link into a rock at Mach 12 again, because a cloud hit a floating rock from you. Oh, Tears of the Kingdom. You silly. I'm gonna stim pack before I go in here. I've got like 100 and something of them. I might as well. How many do I have? 124. Might as well. I also got an autosave, so that's also good.
Hold up a moment, ma'am. There's something important I need to tell you.
Oh, good. You teleported over here after taking care of the Brotherhood. Sure. What's up?
What is it?
I'm going to give you B592's reset code.
So basically, we just sequence broke the mission. We were supposed to speak with him before, and he would have given us some more info on this,
You'll need
but...
to say B592 initialize factory reset, followed by the authorization code Gamma 71 Epsilon. Once he's shut down, I can transport him safely back to the Institute.
And that would probably be the best way to do this to, well, it would avoid violence. That's also a good point, so.
Good. I'd like to avoid any unnecessary violence.
Well, he might not be alone up there. Violence might be inevitable.
Yeah, but that violence would be necessary. Anyway, yeah, he's supposed to help you get through here, from what I understand, but obviously that the Brotherhood and him weren't having any of that, so... Ah, a terrible shotgun!
Excellent.
I don't know what they mean by terrible. It has the violent legendary effect, which gives 25% extra damage and 25% extra limb damage. That's per pellet, by the way. But it also recoils twice as much. I kind of like it, to be honest. It's a combat shotgun. It's not the best effect you could have on a combat shotgun, but I kind of like it. Plus, I like that it's in French, because I know a little French, so... So when do you sell all your stim packs for minimal gain? I mean, I could do that, but I just don't know if I want to do that. We'll see. Plasma cartridges. Granite stout. Oh, he only has a novice lock on this safe. Sorry there, X6. Oh, that's actually, I didn't think about this. That's the X6 that we saw in the synth retention thing there, because he was the one that was taking that ammo and stuff out. He's the one with all the captures and kills. Gabriel's terminal. It's like the Fallout 3 terrible shotgun, which is stupid busted. Yeah, I've used the terrible shotgun in Fallout 3. It was something I made a stop for about 2/3 of the way through the game because I was like, you know, I could use a better shotgun. So I went and grabbed it, and then I was like, oh, this is a better shotgun. Command prompt log. Run update user Gabriel. Log complete. Previous users' files archived. Run delete old files. Why not just write delete archived files? Old files unknown. All files unknown. How to delete old files. Help. Command help unknown. How to fix piece of shit terminal. Command help unknown. Oh, this poor guy. Archive for user James Wire. Sorry, I've been watching too much Excelblum lately. He's insane, but he's good AF at what he does. That's a good combination, isn't it? It's always good. May 2282. So here we are, our new home. Only casualty was one of Anderson's less useful toes. Otherwise, I'd say cleaning the Mirelurks out of these old hulks went pretty well. Now we just have to figure out what to do next. Been a long time since any of us knew life outside the Minutemen. Oh, that's not good. But General Becker was the only thing holding these folks together. Now that he's dead, it's just a matter of time until the militias start turning on each other. Not worth sticking around for that. But we can make something of this place. I know it. We're gonna have to. Interesting. Minutemen lore. Haven't had that yet. Let's read more. November 2282. We're running through food a lot faster than we'd planned. Now it's starting to sound like Vault Tech. Me trying to use a command prompt. Yeah, you kind of need to have gotten a little bit of DOS from growing up with DOS to really know how to use command prompt, I find. Or you could just look up the commands, I guess. We're running through food a lot faster than we'd planned. People are starting to get hungry. We're rationing, but the scouts need to turn up something soon or we're in trouble. December 2282. I had Anderson and Williams hanged today. Wow, that was a big jump. Not pleased about executing the best guns we still had, but it needed to be done. End of last month, they started finding big caches of food and supplies. We were starving, so I didn't ask where it came from. Then today we got a visit from the Bunker Hill Guards. Oh, that's not good. Turns out my boys have been hitting caravans, feeding us the spoils. I gave the guards my word those boys would see justice, and I keep my word. But justice doesn't put food in my people's mouths. I mean, you could just kill all the Mirelurks around here. They'd probably make for decent eating. I made cakes out of them. Look, I know some commands for command prompt, but I'm awful at it. Yeah, I probably don't have a lot of memory of it, honestly. We used to run games using DOS with command prompt way back in the day, but it's been so long since I've done that. The last game that I ran with a DOS command prompt was the best educational game of all time, which I haven't played in like 20 years, so... February 2283. No fucking more. Another caravan stiff, my boys. This mercenary shit we've been driven to isn't worth it when the bastards don't pay. Why didn't you become gunners? I tried to get the merchants at Bunker Hill to cut us some slack, to give us something, anything to eat, but they wouldn't deal. They're in on it too, I guarantee. No, this ends now. Today me and the boys make an example. And then you became raiders. April 2283. 4 new recruits today said they heard about all the caps and the raiders in the bay have been pulling in. Raiders. That's what they called us. And they're not wrong. We're making money hand over fist. Bunker Hill, the caravans, they pay us to do nothing, to leave them alone. This is the best shape we've been in since leaving the Minutemen. General Becker would be sick if he saw us now, but he's dead, and we're alive. I don't feel like writing anymore. Well, yeah, that makes sense considering what you used to be. Last time you remember using it was getting Duke Nukem to run. Yeah, that also was another one. Would run on a DOS prompt. Is that a bobby pin box? Hell yeah, dude. I don't need those. I've got... how many bobby pins do I have? 254! Because I don't lockpick anything outside of novice locks, because I can't. So, you know. Speaking of novice locks. Not to worry, the next open world game we play with lockpicking in it, I will be upgrading lockpicking, so we'll get to open a lot of this stuff. So, there you go. Dirty water, but not enough of it. Commonwealth. I hope I remember what the factory reset code was. We're going to find out in a moment. Just like coding, you can reverse engineer it, but making it from scratch is hard, yeah. Absolutely.
I'm gonna guess you two are agents just like me.
Made it to the top.
Is the Institute so desperate for resources that it's stealing plunder from honest, hard-working Commonwealth gangs?
Honest? Hard-working? I mean, I've seen your plunder, but
B592 initialize factory reset. Authorization Gamma 71 Epsilon.
Boss? Are you okay? Gabriel, can you hear me?
Well, that worked.
Shit, they did something to him. Take them out.
I don't know about that. That's it. Come directly into my line of sight. Goodbye. And that was the last shot in the chamber.
I'll take the synth back.
Alright, cool. That saves me a trip. Thanks. I'll just take the spoils.
This is X688. Ready to relay with reclaimed synth B592.
You know, now that I think about it, he was the synth with my well, not my son, my synth son, too, wasn't he? Huh. Like, he was in Kellogg's memories with my synth son. Also, the Raiders have combat rifles. That's starting to... They're starting to rack up their damage. That's mildly terrifying. Do we walk the plank? This isn't the plank. I think there is a plank, though, that you can walk. I just have to find it. Maybe it's up here. Yeah, it's up here. Be kind of funny if they stuck a bobblehead or something at the end of this. Yeah, that was the synth that Kellogg handed off synth Sean to. Yep, there you go. Yep. So, do we jump off and then we fast travel? I feel like we can do that. Although, what'll happen to my body if it's partially submerged in water when I teleport back to the Institute? It's a fair question. Did I give Z1 enough time? I don't think I did. Not yet. Okay. Well, let's jump in the water just because. Why not? It'll be funny. Ready, Dogmeat? Going for another swim. Geronimo! And eaten by a giant sea monster. Something bigger than a Mirelurk? Possibly. Wouldn't put it past him. Okay, well, this isn't my home now. I'm gonna fix that in a second. So, leaving locked boxes behind in games like this physically pains you. You have to level lockpicking and hacking. Yeah, you know, and I think what I'm gonna do, because the problem that I had again with the locked boxes in this game is that, from what I understand, most loot in this game isn't leveled. So, like, you'll open something that's master locked, and it might have like a small amount more loot in it than the novice locked stuff, but it's not like good stuff to reward you for leveling your lockpicking higher. So what I might do when I play Skyrim is I might install a mod that gives the like a leveled loot list when you have, you know, higher end locks that you've got to pick, so that way it makes it worth it to actually open that stuff. You know, it gives you a reward for leveling up your lockpicking and stuff. It's going to be a while before we play Skyrim for the stream because I haven't even figured out my mods for it yet, but we'll get there. Okay, back to my normal stuff. And did we pick up any junk? I don't really want to do too much inventory management right now, but I might as well. I guess I should keep the terrible shotgun for now. I don't need the combat shotgun. I've got the better version. So, I guess I'll just stick the pre-war money in here. Stick the rest of my junk in here. No, I don't want to take all. Want to give all. Wrong button. There we go. Excuse me. Lockpicking in this game specifically isn't usually worth it just because loot tables aren't really scale well, but you know that, and it still hurts. Yeah, no, I mean, I understand it. You know, like it's just one of those things where it's like, no, I really want the loot, you know. It just doesn't... It's important that I get the loot, but I don't know. For me, it just never really felt worth it to level that. I could use those perks for something else, you know. I find that a lot of people, like, that talk about Fallout 4 will be like, well, you don't need to worry about not getting the perks you want because you can just level up some more. And it's like, honestly, I've never been above level 40 in this game. So I don't know. It's just... I get the point that they're making, but it just doesn't compute in my head, you know. So, also, I put away some of my fusion cells because I'm grabbing all of this stuff. I am gonna need it basically in a few minutes. I won't need the signal grenades. I don't know if I should keep the Fat Man or if I should just take it with me, because I don't think I'll need it. I'm just going to take it with me. All the mini nukes, too. I'll need the frag mines and the signal grenades, though, for stuff later, so we'll work on that. Is it close enough to time for me to go to bed? Yeah, it's 3:19. I think I better take a sleep. All right, buddy, time for bed.
Hey, go check that out.
Okay, we'll go to sleep. We'll regroup in the morning after 5 hours of sleep, and then we'll go to the Institute. Now, if you're playing Frost or something, then it would be 100% worth it. Yeah, because in that case, Frost is the survival mod for this game, where they change up a whole bunch of the map, not the locations and stuff, but the way that the map it functions, and it makes it basically like a, well, yeah, like a survival game. And yeah, it would make it totally worth it, because it could be the difference between you living and dying in some cases. So, all right, so back to breakfast again. We can get rid of the last coin and the last red scorpion steak, so I guess I'll take that as well. Let me coin and rat away first, because I have enough of it. Okay, that just filled it all the way up, and now I can just take some more water. Cool. Okay, that's cool. My boy.
Heads up. Come on.
Come on out of there. I love Dogmeat's animations in this game. They will never fail to put a smile on my face. Since I can't pet you this morning, I guess I'll take your walking cane that you found, but I'm also going to get that teddy. I'm going to take that teddy from you. See what I mean? Never fails to put a smile on my face. Alright, I guess we're going back to the Institute. We gave Z1 a day now. So now we need to meet with him, and we also need to meet with Sean, so let's go do both of those things, shall we? But which one should I do first? What's the objective now that we've been to the Institute? My primary objective now, I talked about it at the beginning of the stream, but my primary objective now, Sean said something during our first talk that has perplexed me, and I think would also perplex Charlotte. And this thing that he says was, when you get older, you start to regret and ask what if more often. And again, I talked about this before, but Kellogg's life was prolonged almost indefinitely, so I wouldn't think that would be a problem for the leader of the Institute. So until Charlotte finds out why he would say something like that, I don't think she can leave with her conscience intact. She has to find out why her son is regretting and asking what if before we can leave. So we're working with them now primarily to answer that question. So that's the objective. Work with the Institute till he tells me why he's regretting and asking what if, and then we can go from there. Yeah, the extra work they put in Dogmeat, it does. It really shows. It's absolutely, he's absolutely adorable. Again, I mentioned it before, but he's one of the most well-realized dogs in any video game I've ever played. Genuinely. Like, he's probably one of my favorite strong points in this game, honestly. So, Z1?
Friends, if they take up arms for their freedom. I was surprised at the number of volunteers. Perhaps once the fighting begins, many others will join us.
Well, let's hope there's not too much fighting, but...
and die very quickly unless we have weapons. A lot of them.
Yeah, I actually saw this part coming. I looked up Underground Undercover to look at where it goes, and I wanted to make sure I kept a few weapons so we could give them to him. I actually have some if you guys need it.
I have weapons I could give you.
Excellent. Deposit anything you can spare in Maintenance Closet 3B. But we need enough weapons to arm an entire rebellion.
I mean, I have about 5,000 spare ammo, so... Okay, so what are these ingredients?
What ingredients?
Gunpowder, laser focusing crystals, and a couple other things.
So, does that mean you guys need to steal weapons to get
Couldn't
these?
we just steal some weapons?
All munitions are tightly guarded by the SRB. Even if we manage to take some, it would certainly be noticed. And surprise is essential to everything.
So, how do I help?
Tell me how I can help.
We've come up with a plan to get what we need.
Okay.
The Institute's always expanding. Excavation just completed on one of the sublevels. The mining equipment has been packed into crates and they haven't been moved yet. That equipment has everything we need.
I was gonna say, yeah, they probably would have a lot of the stuff they need for mining, like dynamite and mining lasers, so.
They're under constant supervision. How do you feel about killing some guards?
Not great, but, you know, are we talking about synths, or?
Who's guarding them?
A good number of early model synths.
Oh, okay.
Will that be a problem?
No, probably not. But, I mean, I'll do it. It's only if it's necessary, but I'll do it.
I'll do it. If it's necessary.
We could come up with no other way.
Okay.
After you eliminate the guards, we'll move the supplies and blow up the tunnels behind us. To the SRB, it will be a tragic construction accident that killed many synths. Rare, but not unheard of. And then, our dead friends can assemble the weapons we need.
Ah, I see.
Good luck.
Okay, this is... Yeah, it's a good thing we're working with him. He seems to have a good head on his shoulders for this stuff. That's a fairly sound plan, at least as far as I'm aware. So we're going to stick the stuff in the supply closet across from Liam? You sure this isn't going to look a little conspicuous? Oh, good. It's a small storage locker. You know what that means? It's time to stuff comically large things into comically small boxes again. I'm going to give them, like, all of my munitions. I wonder how they're going to feel about the deliverer being given to them. I know, it's blasphemy. I'm giving them one of the best pistols in the game. I don't really see myself using it, so it'll go to a better home this way. Maybe Z1 can use it. Do I give them the terrible shotgun? Yeah, I'm not using rifleman either. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. That one will probably come in pretty handy because it's troubleshooters. Don't need that. They can have this walking cane as well. They can have my old friend, the Wastelander's friend. Apparently that's enough weapons. Good, because I brought just enough of them. I don't know if they need ammo either, but I'm going to put ammo in there too because I'm just that generous. Let's see. So what do we got in there? We need 10mm ammo. We need mini nukes. I don't even need that duct tape. We need 5mm ammo. Shotgun shells. I might have a few of those, maybe not. Laser fusion cells. We need the 308, but I already did that, and more 10mm. Okay, so we need to put in 10mm rounds, 5mm rounds, some of my fusion cells, not all. I'll give them like 1,000. That should be good. These mini nukes. I have 7 shotgun shells. Use them well. I don't think that's necessary again. I think they just need the weapons. I think they can get their own ammo, but now they're armed. I really think they should have put that supply closet somewhere else. Like, that looked way too conspicuous. Liam just watched me put that stuff in there. Okay, whatever. I don't know, man. Okay, we're going up here. That is to talk to Father, because this is bioscience and robotics. I think this is Father's suite, is everything up here. So that means we need to go this way to do this part. Let's go do the stuff with Z1 first, then we'll go meet with Father. And be like, oh no, I wasn't here. I was over here. Well, that's not ominous at all. Hang on, let my eyes adjust to the darkness here. Good lord. I think if I remember right, after this you have to go meet with Desdemona once you do this part. Because, like I said, I looked up Underground Undercover just to see, like, what it would entail. I mostly looked it up to see if it would actually have, like, give me experience anytime soon and would go into other objectives, but it looks like it's basically just all one quest, so.
Scanning unknown identity. Clearance confirmed.
Hello. Just coming down to see how the mining operations are going. Definitely not here to kill any of you.
Greetings, citizen. I believe you have business with the guards.
You're correct, I do.
Greetings, ma'am.
Greetings. I feel bad about this. I know I probably shouldn't because they're,
at full capacity.
you know, just machines, but I still feel bad about this.
An enemy may be utilizing stealth. How interesting.
There you are.
Primary sensor critically damaged.
Okay, so. Excuse me, pardon me, watch out. Oh good, they're all fighting to help. So I guess I'll take care of this guy instead of them. These guys have got some good armor though, because that's laser weapons on a synth, and that's pretty impressive. That, however, is about right. Alright, so that's that guy down. I should use this, hold on. Oh, they already crippled his head. Well, it's more crippled now. Whoa. Something blew up. Shoot above that box there, Charlotte. There you go. Ooh, that's G9. Are you trying to escape from me? Because it's not going to work. Shoot around G9 there so I don't accidentally shoot her. Okay. Reloading! Okay, got them all. Good. Funnily enough, Fallout 4 answers its own moral question. The troubleshooter's effect does not work on Gen 3 synths. Bam, not robots. Checkmate Institute. I didn't even think about that. That's interesting.
Everything we can use. The crates especially.
Do you guys need this ammo? I mean, I don't need it, so I suppose it'd be better to leave it for you. Especially if there's any, like, shotgun shells. Like this guy's stuff. Because I only gave you 7. I'll leave their stuff. You guys can probably make better use of it than I can. So there you go. Alright, let's put our stuff away before we go back upstairs so we don't, you know, get any weird ideas. Nobody gets any weird ideas. Walk upstairs to father. Why do you smell like singed metal? Don't worry about it. Oof. All of a sudden the lights just being that bright just sort of... Maybe I should leave this stuff too, actually, now that I think about it. Because this might be useful to them as well. It's an ammo box that I don't need. I'm just so used to looting everything, you know? So, oh well. Let's top off our health real quick. A little more. Get properly hydrated. Oh, I can check on Virgil now. Alright, cool. We'll go back there. I think there will be a point where... There's probably going to be a point where we have to go back to the glowing sea at some point later. So we'll go back once the game points us back there. And if not, we'll go back if we ever get into side quest hell, which will probably be when the world's in imminent peril.
Done your part, and we'll do ours. Weapon construction will begin immediately.
All right. Do you foresee any problems?
Have any problems?
There's been no alarm. My friends have all the time they need to get what they want, then cover their tracks.
Good. Anything from Liam?
Any news about Liam?
Liam's got his terminal working. When the time is right, we have someone who can operate it. I'll stall Liam as long as I can. But he's anxious to proceed with the old plan.
I'm sure he
avoid
is.
him if you can. If he had any idea what we're up to, I fear he'd report us.
Okay, I will keep that in mind. It sounds like we're off to a good start.
This is a good start.
The greatest challenge remaining is keeping all of this secret from the SRB. So we're being very careful, which unfortunately takes time.
You'd imagine they'd have like monitoring devices all over this place that would make this a little conspicuous, right? Like, why did you go in that elevator, Charlotte? Why have you been talking to Z1 all this time, Charlotte? What are you planning, Charlotte? I think my son trusts me too much for his own good. Anything new at the requisitions office?
Clearance granted. How may I help you?
Let me find out.
I'll take a look, sure.
But yeah, I honestly, I've been saying it a couple of times here, but I kind of get where Glory's coming from with these Gen 1 and 2 synths. Like, seeing them just kind of in their not killing environment, like, it's hard to really form an opinion of them when you're up on the surface and all they're doing is shooting at you. When they're down here and non-hostile, it's like, yeah, they've got their own charm to them, you know? I don't know, maybe that's just me. I can give you plasma cartridges for experiment 18A. I don't know what in exchange for. I don't need fusion cells, but, you know. Alright, I can buy something worth 182. Not even a plasma pistol, huh? Thanks, I don't need your scattered Institute rifles. From what I understand, the Institute weapons are just worse laser guns, which is kind of disappointing because the laser gun eventually will fall off as well, so, you know. I guess there's Mark II and Mark III synth pieces, but enemies have a harder time detecting you. So that's the chameleon effect. That's the cunning effect, I think, like the one that we have on our chest piece. That is bolstering, And that is... I don't remember the exact name of it, but it increases action point refresh speed, so there you go. I could buy this a dick doll, I guess. Can never have enough of that. Thank you, sir. Alright, let's go meet up with my son. And yeah, so now the rest of this is just to continue working with Father until I think there's a certain point later on where it'll basically have you do like a surprise Pikachu Uno reversal card with him, according to Underground Undercover's page. So, but anyway, let's just go speak with my son and tell him that we did the job at Libertalia and did the job right. They moved the synth, Sean. I wonder where they moved him to. Oh, and I think there's another terminal up here that I wanted to look at as well, so that'll probably be the last little bit of exploring we do in this area. So I guess it's good that we did that already, because then Liam won't be catching on to us. Institute weapons aren't bad, but dear God, the first-person view model is so big. Can't stand using them. Yeah, so like, this is what this looks like with the reflex sight on it, but imagine the gun itself being like 30% more of the screen, and you've got a good idea of what the Institute lasers look like. I've tried using them before. I just can't. I just can't do it, dude. Oh, good. The terminal's right behind my son, and I don't know how he'd feel about me hacking into it. Maybe later.
I'm glad to see you return safely. I know the task was difficult, but I needed you to see firsthand how dangerous a rogue synth can be.
To be fair, to be honest, I did have a little help getting there, so I guess I'm glad it's over.
Gabriel and his gang were sick bastards, hanging their victims up like trophies. I'm just glad it's over.
While we can do nothing for Gabriel's victims, we can at least take comfort in the knowledge that the threat has been removed. But enough about that.
See, like, sometimes it feels like he has a little bit of empathy, but
We've returned our
I don't know.
safely to us.
Sometimes it doesn't.
I couldn't have hoped for a better outcome.
Like, it feels like any empathy he has is always end justifies the means empathy, you know?
You'll find all the basic necessities, as well as a generous stock of arms and equipment.
You're just
Go
gonna
and have
give
a
me
look.
this stuff?
I think you'll be quite pleased.
Thanks, son. I appreciate you buying your old lady a house. That's nice. I think it's in a different section, though. Probably everybody else already lived in these quarters, so they were occupied. Wow, a person with free will sure is dangerous. You're right. Let's enslave them all. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's always like, he was a raider and a bastard, and he hung people up like trophies, and it's like, yeah, and that's bad. But sure, let's just enslave them all. That's of course the only alternative. Completely black and white with no moral gray area whatsoever. Okay. I should probably explain a little bit since I'm doing a lot of that today. I've talked about before, mostly as a joke, that Sean had shaken baby syndrome because of what happened when they, well, shook him when Nate was trying to keep him from being kidnapped, when Kellogg kidnapped him. It's a real thing, in case anyone wasn't aware of shaken baby syndrome. It's an actual disease. And the shaking process, because the nerves in babies' brains are not properly, like, grown yet, when you shake a baby, the nerves get all jumbled out of place, and it can cause major health issues later on in their life. At best, the baby could have issues with certain emotional decisions and emotions in general, which, honestly, it seems like Sean does have in certain cases. At worst, they could be paralyzed for the rest of their life. So it's very bad. Don't shake your babies. But it's a real thing. Like, I didn't think it was going to be something that would be relevant. I was mostly saying it as like an in-character joke, I guess, but he might genuinely have it. I don't think there's anything to explain whether or not he does or doesn't, but his behavior seems to track for quote-unquote well-adjusted shaken baby syndrome. So I feel like he specifically sent you on that mission to manipulate you, as if all rogue synths are monsters. Yeah, not all of them end up being like Gabriel. He just ended up doing the worst possible things he could do on that mission. And since, you know, he thought ahead enough to have me kill Kellogg to get revenge for my whole family, we know he's thinking several steps ahead. This is a chess game to him.
Your quarters are just inside, man.
Nice, thanks, X6. I believe once you check this out, he becomes your companion?
When you're finished here, ma'am.
At some point.
Father wants to see you.
Okay, thanks, X6. And for that, we leveled up. Got almost no experience for it, to the point where I almost feel like this was supposed to happen earlier in the game, because that's like the kind of experience we were getting before we killed Kellogg. But, you know, a lab coat, a free bed, a Wake Master alarm clock. I'm level 27. Let's level up, shall we? Okay, so this is going to be a weird pick, probably for a lot of people. It's probably not going to make a ton of sense, but I'm going to take the first rank of the Black Widow perk. I'm not even really doing it for the extra damage in combat, but men, in this case, are easier to persuade in dialogue. I couldn't get a direct answer to how much of it easier it is, but from everything that I've seen, there's a little bit of anecdotal evidence that says it's about the equivalent to 2 extra charisma, specifically when talking to men. And I want to think about the people that we're working with right now. I'm not going back to the railroad, because I already explained why I don't like working with them. My son is male. Maxon's male. Is that it? Liam's male. Although we probably won't be working with him much more after this. But several of the main people that I'll be working with, like the only one that I can think of that's like a major character right now that we are working with that wouldn't take into effect with this is Proctor Ingram. But Maxon is the leader of the Brotherhood and he's male. So I figure this will be a good pick in case we need to persuade them to not do things. I also like the perk, so like the way that the perk animates there, where she just grows 6 arms. That's cool. I mean, I'm chugging great mentats anyway, but I may run out of them eventually. I've only got, 12 left. Yeah, either Shaken Baby Syndrome or Institute brainwashing through his entire upbringing. One or the other. Both are pretty bad. I mean, I could see both, honestly. Yeah, and that's also a true thing as well. A lot of the named characters in this game are male. So it gives you a nice boost. It won't be against everyone, but for a lot of the ones that I personally care about persuading, they're male. So, all right, let's go back and talk to Father. Talk to my son. Talk to Sean. You know, a little bit of everything.
It was an honor to fight at your side.
Yeah, you did pretty well for yourself there, X6. Are you...
A successful mission on all counts, ma'am.
No, not yet. Okay.
Nice work bringing that rogue synth back.
Thanks. I don't know how I feel about it, to be
Quentin is
honest.
such a liar. How would he know what the surface is like? He's never been up there.
How do you know? Might have to go with him one of those times when he tries to reprogram the teleporter. Anyway. Go chat with my son. But yeah, I think X6 becomes available as a companion pretty soon. I forget if it's here or after this mission. Excuse me. Although, my son is down here now, so you know what we can go do? I'm going to quick save before I do this in case this gets me kicked out of the Institute, but we can go hack into his terminal. Oh, I don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to see. Sean's terminal password. I might need that. Okay, now I don't even have to hack it. Good. Password required. Dr. Lee's the only one you can think of right now who has a very hard speech check where you'd want Lady Killer instead. Okay, gotcha. So that makes sense. Kellogg, Conrad, enhanced life expectancy, status reports, personal notes. Director access synth shutdown. Is this the equivalent of pressing that button that shoots me into the sun and the outer worlds? Because I feel like that's what it sounds like. Like the one where you get the bad ending because you're so stupid you shoot yourself into the sun. Anyway, let's read the rest first. July 16th, 2285. Let me take a drink first. There we go. Kellogg's occasional presence continues to unnerve the others. At first, I thought they were merely intimidated by his confidence and arrogance, or perhaps even afraid of his general being. Kellogg is, after all, a killer. But as I've continued to witness their reactions, gauge their sidelong glances, I've detected something else, something I probably should have anticipated. Jealousy. See, sometimes he can read emotions, but sometimes it feels like he can't. He's very stiff sometimes. Kellogg is a living memorial to a forgotten program. He's an augmented human being, a cyborg, really, and the benefits he has received cannot be denied. But really, the scientists here could not care less about enhanced reflexes or greater combat efficiency. No, the cause of their envy is something more practical, more primal, his enhanced life expectancy. Just how long will Kellogg live if he passes naturally, however unlikely that may be? It's hard to say. He's already more than 100 years old, older certainly than any other human in the Commonwealth. His complete physiology has been altered. Perhaps he'll make it to 150, maybe even 200. Let the petty have their petty jealousies. Kellogg is a living testament to the ingenuity and superiority of the Institute, and I take no small pleasure in knowing that must irritate him to no end. Well, that gives us a little more info on Kellogg. So, have I been to Goodneighbor at all yet? Yeah, we went there for the memory den, and I think we went there once before that to mark it on the map. We didn't really do a whole lot there, though. I think the most that I did there was rest at the hotel, talk to the Vault Tech rep, I got the magazine, and we went to the memory den, and that was about it. So, Division status reports. Hydroponics programs functional, FEV lab offline, robotics synth output nominal, production materials fully stocked. Advanced systems child synth project under quarterly review, weapons diagnostics ongoing, phase 3 behind schedule. SRB, Director Zimmer, still offline. I remember Director Zimmer. Fallout 3 reference. Above ground operative terminated, retention programs functional. So that above ground operative was probably my fault. Pattern recognition algorithms ineffective. Facilities power output maxed. Air and water recycling systems functioning normally. So it sounds like they've got most stuff in order. Personal notes. The wait continues. AO can only confirm sightings outside Vault 111, and again in Diamond City sometime later. They've been observing me. I wonder how. What that means, I'm not sure. Will we actually meet? Was this all for nothing? No, not nothing. I will have learned valuable things about myself, my past, either way. I cannot afford to let emotion get in the way. No, you absolutely should. This is your mother you're talking about, kid. I must simply observe and record. I'm told Kellogg has gone offline. Strangely, I find myself thinking of Dr. Walker. He had such high hopes for Kellogg, such faith in the implants and what they could mean. I still regret eliminating the project, but I know where it would have led us. Walker was never shy about his goals, and too many others were starting to listen. In the end, I believe I was justified. The Institute is about preserving humanity, not some bizarre amalgamation of biology and technology. So, I'd like everyone in the chat to do me a favor. If they have access to the mono-thonking emote, please use it right now, because this is where I'm mono-thonking right now. What does he mean, not some bizarre amalgamation of biology and technology? What the fuck do you think a Gen 3 synth is? Thank you, Marie. Thank you, Metroid. I am also so confused. I don't understand. Okay, so I'm going to back out. I'm going to quick save again. Then we're going to go back in. Okay, that's my son I hear walking around downstairs. We're going to go back in, and I'm going to see what happens if I press the synth shutdown button. Yeah, what the fuck is the Institute doing if they aren't biotech? That is a good question. Is this dude high AF? I mean, I think this terminal was just written by a different writer than the main story writer, genuinely. That's not an excuse. You should have like a... So the way that I've seen some places do it is they have like a gigantic bulletin board in their development room, right? And they write down all of the important details on this bulletin board. So if anyone ever has questions about how something should be in a game, they just look at the wall and it's all there for them. I get the feeling Bethesda did not do that, and that's why some things just end up not making any sense at all in this game. Let's try to shut the sense down. Unauthorized director code required. Okay, so his password is not enough. We need a separate code to do this shutdown thing. Good to know. Might need that. I think it also reinforce how truly little they think of the synths. They're just meat machines to them. Yeah, that's possible too, I suppose. We could think of it that way and make it seem less like a writer flub. Sean.
Hello, Mother.
Hello again.
Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
Pity them. Probably talk it out, honestly.
I try and talk it out. See if things can be resolved peacefully.
I was a lawyer, after all.
And yet we find ourselves in a situation where something more significant must be done.
Like
the
what?
Group that calls themselves the Railroad have acquired several synths from the Institute. Synths that had gone missing in recent months.
Uh-huh.
They no doubt mean to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient beings.
Yeah,
You've been
delusion.
in contact with them, so you're aware of their misguided beliefs?
I have been in contact with them. I mean, I don't know them particularly well. So what happened with these synths exactly? Is there like a specific one that we're looking for?
What happened? What have they done?
They are in possession of technology that does not belong to them.
I mean, I
Usually
gave
they
that
are
to
a
them
minor
to get to
nuisance,
you, to be fair.
But lately they have become more emboldened.
That might also be
I'm
my
afraid
fault.
We've reached a
Whoops.
point where a response is necessary. We have learned the current location of these synths.
Here's a
and
question,
need to
really.
reacquire them before the
Maybe I'll ask him when he's done, actually. So, where are they?
Where are the synths located?
A small settlement at the old Bunker Hill Monument.
Oh, they
But it's
found
important
Stockton's
that we act on this soon,
package
before the railroad has
place.
any indication
Great.
we've tracked them. We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the synths.
Oh, you don't,
that
huh?
would only complicate matters.
Okay, so you want me to get there as quick as I can, then?
Hey, I'll act quickly. You can count
Charlotte's
on me.
trying her
You'll
best to
have a
keep a poker
contact
face right
waiting
now.
for
I
you
can't
just
even
outside
imagine.
Bunker.
All that lawyer training has got to be paying off right now. Because holy shit, this is her son telling her all of this. Like, Jesus, man. I couldn't do it. Then again, I'm not trained as a lawyer, so. Yeah, we can inform the Brotherhood and the Railroad. Guess what we're gonna go do right now? So that's the plan. Wonder if Dogmeat's gonna be able to mate me out here. I know it says inform them, but I don't know if I want to go directly to the thing, because if they have location data on or something for the Courser chip, they could just track me directly there. Let's just do the smart thing and go back to my house, meet Dogmeat back there, and then we'll head to the airport and to the HQ. And then we'll probably just leave using the HQ's regular exit and go straight to Bunker Hill that way, I think. I don't know if you can actually teleport there during this because it takes place there, so it might be... Unless there's nothing happening just yet over there, I suppose. It would make sense. Hi, my boy. Do I need anything while I'm here? I don't think so. I think we're mostly good. 204. It's going to go well into the night by the time we're done here. Yeah, Charlotte is using her house like a VPN for any potential tracking devices. You can never be too careful, apparently. You know what we could do while we're on the Pridwin, though, is we could go see Proctor Quinlan for those technical documents that we can hand in. So I might as well do that. I'm going to go do that. Since we're going there anyway. It might be daytime again, though, by the time we get done with making the rounds here. Oh, by the way, that knight usually talks to you when you go up the stairs here. If you hug the left side, I think, yeah, you can avoid having him talk to you. So if you don't feel like listening to his lines over and over again, you can do that. So, there you go. Okay. By the way, if you ever need to see Lancer Captain Kells, I think he's down there. I'm trying to avoid him, though, because from what I've heard, he can lead to a bunch of bad bug things. So, then again, this game is like full of bugs.
Tells us
So.
you've infiltrated the Institute and liberated a valuable holotape from their facility.
Actually, I have. I'm not really surprised at this intelligence. You had a flight pilot there.
However, you've secured passage to and from their facility, which was one of our primary goals. So, I'm willing to overlook your lapse in judgment.
Oh, good. How
Since you've
generous of you.
unexpectedly accelerated our plans. I now have 2 missions for you to complete.
Oh yeah, you
First
are
and
in the
foremost,
Brotherhood. I forgot.
I
Yeah,
want you to
we're
bring
in the
our holotape
Brotherhood.
to Proctor Ingram right away.
I
There
still
could
don't
be
know how I
data
feel
flagged
about
to the
it,
success of our
but-
mission on that tape, so we can't afford to take any chances. The second part of your mission requires a bit of background to explain.
Well, that one should
About
be
10
pretty
years
quick.
ago, the Brotherhood began recruiting civilian scientists from the capital wasteland to assist with various projects. During this process, we were able to obtain the services of Dr. Madison Lee, a noted mind in the field of nuclear engineering.
This is not what I came here for, but I guess we'll get some background because I've already met with Dr. Lee.
How did the Brotherhood meet Dr. Lee?
She was part of a civilian project in the capital wasteland that the Brotherhood appropriated. It wasn't difficult to convince her to stay.
I mean, that's because she could either stay with you or go with the Enclave, and they would have killed her,
were
so...
instrumental in maintaining order in the capital wasteland. After some time, she developed differences with the Brotherhood and exiled herself to the Commonwealth.
Yeah, you don't
We're
say.
fairly certain that her intent was to make contact with the Institute.
Do you ever think it might have something to do with the way that you run things now, unlike how Director Lyons ran things? I've read your terminals, Maxon.
What sort of differences?
Although she was working with the Brotherhood of Steel,
I don't think they have terminals
she
on the
never
Fallout
formally
3
joined
events,
as a
but
scribe.
I
After
played
the
Fallout
capital
3, so I know
was
this stuff.
secured, she objected to the Brotherhood's continued military presence there.
Not
I think
surprising,
she
I
assumed
would have
we
too.
Just walk away from it all. She was wrong. Your mission is simple. Once you're inside the Institute, we want you to track down Dr. Lee's whereabouts.
If you find out that she's still alive, make contact with her and convince her to return to the Brotherhood of Steel. There's a special project we're working on, and it needs her attention.
Uh-huh.
What's this project that needs her attention?
Sorry, that information is classified. I'm sure you understand.
You kind of need to tell me this stuff. She's pretty sharp. She'll probably bring it up if you don't tell me. Speaking of swaying something from my duty, that is not even remotely what I came here to talk to you about.
I have something urgent to report, Elder. The Institute is attempting to recover escaped synths at Bunker Hill.
How did you obtain this information? Our reconnaissance hasn't reported anything of the sort.
I got it directly from the source.
I received the information from the Institute itself.
And you've done the right thing by reporting this to me directly. Well done, soldier. Your report provides us with a golden opportunity to state our intentions to the Institute.
This is going to end in bloodshed, isn't it?
This mission. Exterminate the synths at Bunker Hill, and whomever the Institute sends to retrieve them. I'll instruct Kells to assign you the appropriate backup.
Well, I guess I'm glad for the backup, at least. I don't know about the exterminate part, but I'm glad for the backup, at least. Oh yeah, this is the speech check that you mentioned? Okay, gotcha. So I guess we'll see once we go back to the Institute. So, I'm probably going to wait to do those missions for the Brotherhood until we go back there, honestly. I forgot to bring Proctor Quinlan the technical documents.
Who knows what other sick projects the Institute's working on?
I could go back in, but then we'd have to wait through 2 loading screens, and I'm impatient, so we'll come back. We'll come back later. We might get more technical documents in the process, so... You see, this is going to turn into a bloodbath. You see no other paths. Yeah, there's going to be so much bloodshed at Bunker Hill. It's going to suck. It's a good thing I got all the materials I needed from Lucas Miller already. Because otherwise, I don't know if I'd have access to him after this. Let's just hand this to Ingram real quick, because this will be a nice quick turn-in, I think. Unless it, like,
Proctor,
goes further than this.
I came across a holotape with a full
Love inviting everyone to the
Institute's
Bunker Hill
network.
party. It makes an absolute clusterfuck.
Good to see you're still in one
There you
piece.
go.
I wasn't sure what the interceptor would do to you.
Maybe that advice would have been handy before I built it?
Wait, you didn't expect me to survive the trip?
A device like the signal interceptor is way out of my league. I was hoping you'd make it, but I find it tough to have faith in technology I don't understand.
You know, that's fair,
Speaking of
actually.
Technology I don't understand. I'll get this holotape to Proctor Quinlan. I'm dying to find out what's on it.
So, fair enough. I can probably guess, but...
What do you hope to find on there?
Whatever the Institute doesn't want anybody to know.
Yeah,
Before
that's
we
about
jump to
right.
conclusions, let's see what Quinlan's scribes can get off of it.
All right, then.
I'm sure the Institute has all of their data heavily encrypted, so it's gonna take some time to crack.
That's good, because I
After
have other
that,
things to do.
We'll have to see what we've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe. In the
What do you mean,
meantime,
we?
your
I
mission
did
to
that
recruit
for the
Dr.
railroad.
Dogmeat still needs to be completed. I believe Elder Maxon gave you all of the details.
He did.
Good luck, Knight.
Thank you, Ingram. Yeah, I had a feeling that was going to be a nice quick turn-in. And that gave me more experience than the first mission at Libertalia for the Institute. That's kind of... It almost makes me feel like that mission at Libertalia was supposed to take place earlier in the game. Because, again, we were getting those experience numbers back, like, before we killed Kellogg, so... I don't know. It's weird. Need a real challenge? No, I don't need you making the enemies more bullet spongy, Bethesda. Thank you very much. We're gonna play a quote-unquote survival mode version of a Bethesda game in New Vegas and in Skyrim, because I'm gonna install a needs mod in Skyrim, and I'm gonna use hardcore mode in New Vegas when we play it. Because in New Vegas, you can play hardcore mode while still having the difficulty be it normal or hard or any of that stuff, if I remember correctly, so... I can, you know, make it more variable than just, you do very little damage, the enemies will kill you in 3 hits, and you also have to manage your needs. So, New Vegas had the best survival mode, in your opinion? Yeah. I'm looking forward to it, honestly. We'll see how it all goes.
Establishing Mercer Safe House is a sign we're on the road to recovery. Thank you for that.
You're welcome, but...
Can I talk to you?
Something on your mind?
A lot on my mind, actually.
The Institute knows about Bunker Hill. They're planning to recapture the synths there.
The timing couldn't be worse. The old man's been sitting on those 4 synths. There's nowhere else that's safe we could put them.
You couldn't put them at
Maintaining
Mercer?
Recover is vital. But the sacrifice is just too great.
So what do we do then?
Stockton and the synths are depending on us. We can't let them down.
Well said. We've never known when and where the Institute would strike us next. But now we have a chance to turn the tables.
You're welcome.
We wait until the enemy is in position, then we hit them hard. No one they send out comes back alive except you. Understand?
Okay, fair enough. Do you think they're... I don't know where this is going to go, but do you think they're going to be suspicious of this?
Won't the Institute be suspicious if I'm the only one left?
You're a lot tougher than anyone else in their outfit.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It would be you. And any story you come up with won't be contradicted.
Also probably true.
We need to draw them into the kill zone and then spring the trap. You'll know when.
Okay.
You'll probably have a courser escort. You'll have to take him down. You've done it before, but it'll still be dangerous.
I will be careful then. Worth it, challenge, confident, too dangerous. Challenge.
Well, this will be an interesting challenge.
You could say that.
But it's one we have to take. So get it done.
Yes, ma'am. Wonder how Glory feels about this. Excuse me, buddy.
You're the real deal. You actually made it inside the Institute.
I did.
Glory.
We're actually going to do this. I don't know how yet, but we're going to rescue my people.
I'll let you know how it goes on the inside so you have more info.
Make sure you're never followed here. It's all our asses if you are.
Yeah, I got it. I got it. It must be pretty late, considering 10:36. Okay. Well, it's not as late as it could be. Should we wait a little longer? So that it's not like the dead of... Well, I guess it doesn't matter if it's the dead of night. I mean, Boston After Dark was the dead of night, and that worked out pretty well, so... Can see exact numbers on your needs, how much it'll restore or drain, and it had an actual UI. Skyrim's UI doesn't support it, so it treats hunger like a spell effect and just gives you pop-ups when you eat stuff, no numbers. Yeah, I think I prefer it with the actual UI, because then you can just kind of see it directly and know exactly what you need to manipulate to get what you need, you know? So... One of the needs mods that I use is on Skyrim is called I Need, which does in fact add a small UI for it. Basically, it has these transparent icons that will slowly get more opaque as you need more things. So like if you're thirsty, it'll get more and more opaque as you need more, well, thirst, as you have more thirst. So then you can quench it and it'll get less opaque. And it's not really intrusive. It kind of just sits in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, kind of where the food effects are in this game, so... It's not super intrusive. I like it. So, I Need works great. Skyrim's default survival mode is questionable, yeah. I've tried Skyrim's default survival mode. Just not a fan, honestly. It just feels like too much. There's not enough on it that's modular, so... I'd love to have another mod that's similar to how Frostfall was for Skyrim, but I haven't found an equivalent yet. I don't want to pay for Frostfall either, so... And I've heard that it's gone a little bit worse since it was free mod, so I don't know. I'd have to look, but... I think there's already fighting over there. I think I can hear the shooting from here. Well, we're going to find out in a second, buddy. I think I already... Oh, I didn't take those last time. Maybe I didn't look. Or they respawned. Either way. I keep passing by Cabot House here. I should probably just discover it so that it's done. But, and you know, I'll do it later. We've got an important mission. I can just come straight out of the Railroad HQ and discover it, so it's not like there's a problem, you know. I guess I'm glad that more gunners didn't post up on this bridge or something. A baseball cap? Probably some kid's baseball cap at that. Alright, well, if that's what you want. Here comes the Brotherhood. Railroad's probably already here. Where am I? Oh, I'm going over here. Okay. Because I'm probably looking for my escort. Yeah. Yeah. Here's my courser escort, probably. Yep.
I've been waiting for you.
I'm sure you have. What's the situation?
So, what's our situation?
I assume you've been briefed?
Pretty
Our
much.
targets are inside. 4 synths under railroad protection. Majority of the settlement is uninvolved and are expected to run for cover.
Well, at least they won't die,
To
I
have
hope.
escalated covert approach is likely impossible.
So,
We
guns
move in,
hot?
Secure the synths, and I relay out with them back to the Institute. Clear?
Sounds like a plan. I didn't know they programmed cars in this world. Nice motorcycle.
Yeah, we've got this.
Remember, the synths are the primary objective. Harm must be avoided at all costs.
That's the
The
plan.
mission's parameters just changed. We go in shooting.
All right.
Requesting backup relay now.
Well, you got it. It looks like they back up relayed. Do you want me to lead, or I'll lead? You just keep shooting. Railroad heavy. I'm going to assume that they're not going to shoot at me because I'm with them.
No way to pick this.
I don't have a key. There was that one on the side over here. I just have to get there. Yeah. You know, I could just jump over the fence, actually. There we go. Alright. I'll just meet you in here, X4. Frostfall is free. Survival mode is the paid version. That's just a weak version of Frostfall, and I need just use the mods. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. I didn't realize it was free. So I'll keep that in mind.
Don't think I won't hurt you.
Sounds like they're already on to us, X4. I wonder how that happened. I'm such a little shit. I'm turning all these people against themselves. It's actually pretty funny. It's not funny because these people are dying, but it's actually pretty funny watching it happen. I think this might be the way we're going. Excuse me, pardon me. I know you're busy, but excuse me, pardon me. I don't have the power armor to get through this place. I'm gonna need you to move. Hello. Maybe if I jump over his head. Okay, never mind. Excuse me. There, I made it. Alright, cool. 10mm rounds. Won't need those right now. They tripped this tripwire already, though. Oh, that thing's hot! And it's on me! Fun part about this mission is it's easy to go into it on everyone's side, so no one will target you, yeah. That's cool. I kind of like that, honestly. Dogmeat, stop taking shots to the dome. I'm not going to be able to shoot this thing from here. There we go. Oh, there's something else that's shooting. Oh, okay, it's this thing. You know, you guys could have marked these turrets as non-hostile as well. I guess it's not necessary, though. I can handle a few turrets. There. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Yeah, I don't really see myself doing this any other way. It'd just be way too much work to fight through all these people. Hello. Deal with the escaped synths. Don't like how that sounds. Okay, X4. Hang out there.
I've been looking for you.
No, I've got money. It's yours if you let me go.
Actually, I don't need your money. You're free to go.
You're safe, okay? I'm gonna let you go.
Oh, God, thank you.
You're welcome. Now. To deal with you. Sorry, X4, nothing personal. Just can't let you take these people back. Y'all okay? Alright. Wait for the shooting to stop, okay? Don't go out there until they're done shooting. Follow the railroad agents. They've got big, bulky leather armor on, okay? They'll take you someplace safe and hopefully won't wipe your memories in the process, because that would be not a whole lot of fun. Can I leave now? Let me see what it says. Speak with Father in the ruins of CIT. Okay, that's where we're going. They're inside, just, they're pretty scared, so just try not to go in too hot. Yeah, I really don't see myself doing this mission any other way, to be honest. I feel like this is probably the best way to have done it. Just go in with everybody else fighting each other. It saves me so much time and ammo. It can be finicky. Try talking to them again just to make sure it registered. Okay, I'll go back and do it just in case, yeah. I can see it being, I mean, it's Bethesda. It's always better to check, you know. So I'll go check. Excuse me. So let's go see if they have any reaction. I'll quick save before just in case it like locks me into saying something that I don't want to say. So.
I can't believe you do that for us. Thank you.
You're welcome. Again, be careful on the way out, but the railroad will help you.
Hi.
You've given us another chance at life. We won't forget it.
Good, because they're planning on erasing your memories. Don't let them do it!
Hey there.
We'll get somewhere safe as soon as you're gone.
Thank you for sparing us.
You're welcome. The heavies should be down in a minute. You had enough ammo in 4 parts ago to end the game right then. Think wasting your ammo would have been more entertaining. Yeah, I suppose that's fair. I'm sure the whole thing will come to a head later, though. We've avoided this part coming to a head, but I'm sure there will be a part later in the game where the whole thing comes to a head and we'll have 6,000 things to shoot, so we'll waste our ammo then. There are a lot of dead people in here. Holy shit. Brotherhood Knights. I don't think I can give the holo tags to anyone. I can take their fusion cores, though. Oh, man. Okay. Whoa. Sorry. Anyway. Trust me, there will be plenty of heads that need criticals later. Alright, good, because I have the 44 rounds to do the crits. So, I can make the crits happen. I think I'm going the wrong way. I am going the wrong way. It's up here. There was so much shooting, I didn't remember which way I came in from. I think it's this way. Yeah, I mean, the door is floating right there, so I suppose it would be this way, wouldn't it? Alright, back up we go. You've had times where this quest soft locked there? Oh, that's not good. Oh, boy. You know, thinking about it, though, while we're loading through to get the CIT, because I think I have to go through the rotunda to get to the roof, because we saw that a couple parts ago. Thinking about it, I mentioned why I didn't like the idea of working with the railroad anymore. I've got a hard pass on their whole erasing memories and erasing cultures of the synths thing. The Brotherhood wears their xenophobia on their sleeve, so I don't think I would want to deal with them either. And, I mean, I think at this point it's pretty obvious that I'm not going to side with the Institute. I guess that only leaves faction number 4. And I gotta be honest with you, I'm not looking forward to that one. Although, to be fair, we've done most of the work with faction number 4 already. With all the other settlements we've set up, so it might not be as bad as it was for me before. So we'll see how it goes. There's raiders joining the fight now. Well, that's just great. Where are the raiders? Dogmeat found something. Is this really the time? Do you guys need stim packs? I can't give you stim packs? Okay, fair enough. Can I fast travel while they're all shooting at each other, or do I have to, like, walk over there? I can fast travel while they're all shooting over there. Okay. Kind of like there are no obvious good guys in the story. It would be too easy otherwise. Yeah, I guess that's fair. I don't know. It just feels like it's not morally complex, though, with the who's good and the who's bad. You know what I mean? Like, they all have their good points and bad points. Well, honestly, I don't know if the Brotherhood has good points or the Institute. I suppose you could, like, flex your brain a little bit and say they have good points. I can't see it, I guess, but it's probably subjective. I don't know. It just feels like the bad points are so pronounced. You know what I mean? So it's hard to justify siding with them without being somewhat monstrous, I guess. I don't know. Kind of murky in here, huh? We already cleared this place out before with the super mutants and the synths engaging with each other, so it should be a nice quick walk. But now I have to tell my son that his courser died and the synths went free. I mean, I don't have to, but this is going to be fun. You're brushing up on your Evil East lore while you're listening to this since it's spotty in places? Yeah, flex brain equals pull Olympic level mental gymnastics. Only way you justify siding with the Institute involves a spoiler, so you'll tell me about it later. Okay. Sounds like a plan. I will anticipate that later. Alright, how do I thread the needle with my son? To still... Because I still haven't gotten my answer. I still haven't found out why he's regretting and asking what if. I hope I don't need to Great Mentat. That's why I'm quick saving, in case I need to Great Mentat. Wait, there's a reason to side with them? What alternate reality is this? I guess we'll find out. Yeah, time to put the lawyer face back on.
Son?
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute.
Really?
Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason.
But you're a scientist. Isn't that enough reason? Wouldn't you want to see the data for yourself?
The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here.
Because when you say stuff like that,
lies below.
Well, you sound like Vault-Tec now. But yeah, if you want to sound like a religious zealot, then...
So why come out here?
To put things in perspective, I suppose. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault.
You were?
In truth, the Institute rescued me.
They didn't.
Both of us, really.
I suppose they did keep me alive because you guys put me back on ice.
Kellogg called me the backup.
Did he? Well, he was correct.
I love how the further along we go with this, the more parallels we're drawing between Charlotte and Kellogg.
But if something
it's crazy.
Would go wrong,
didn't think it would happen, but here we are.
Well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA, preferably related to their primary subject.
Is that why they killed everyone else in there by turning off the life support? Because you guys had plenty of pre-war DNA, but the only one you kept alive was me. There were like a dozen other people in that vault that could have done what you want. So why me? And why not keep those people alive? Like, there's so much circle logic that goes on with the Institute that it makes my brain hurt. So, you let me out. Why didn't you let me out earlier?
Why let me out now? After all this time.
And better question, why didn't you just beam me directly to the Institute when you let me out?
Necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts.
An experiment?
The Commonwealth corrupt you, as it has everything else. Would you even survive?
So you're not willing to come out here and look at this place to test it, but you are willing to experiment on your own parent.
Attempt to find me. And now I know the answer.
Uh-huh. You're making it harder and harder, but I still need you to understand this little guy. Okay, actually, this is a litmus test, right? What I'm about to say is a litmus test. If he says I love you too, there's still some humanity left in him.
Sean, you need to know. I still love you.
I can see that you do.
Okay, he's dead to me. That's it. The litmus test failed. Sorry, Sean. That's it. You're done.
I hope you'll understand. Everything I've done has been for the future.
Of a select few individuals.
Is not in jeopardy after recent events.
Oh, here we go.
Bunker Hill did not go well for us. Would you care to explain what happened?
Yeah, it was my fault.
It's my fault. I wasn't able to complete the mission.
That's a good way of putting it.
Opportunity to prove yourself, particularly to prove to the Directorate that you deserve a place here. That will now be significantly harder. There will be accusations that you deliberately sabotage the mission.
I mean, to be fair, if they check the bullet casings in the Courser's brain, they'd know.
It will now only raise suspicions.
Right.
To see the Brotherhood of Steel involved in this? They had no way of knowing what was going on.
They watched me build the teleporter that you wanted me to use to get in here. What do you mean? They had everything already in mind.
Speaking of which, it's time for you to become more
Okay,
involved
I
in
didn't
the
get myself ousted. Good.
I'd like you to join me inside.
I was a little concerned that he would say, no, I don't think we can do this anymore, but
I've seen enough.
he didn't.
It's time to go back in.
Okay, bye, son. Our brightest days are ahead of us, huh, Nathan Berrigan? Are these the brightest days you were talking about? What do I do, boy? What do I do? Find out right now. I don't think it's 7 o'clock yet. It is 7 o'clock, but there's still a half an hour left, so we won't end just yet. We need to go find out what mankind redefined means. From what you understand, a lot of other people in the vault died because of Vault-Tec just being faulty, but yeah, it makes no sense to kill the rest. Yeah, I think a few of them were probably dead before that because they mentioned it, I think, on the cryogenic terminal that the Overseer had, that a few people were dying on ice. Hell, some of the people they put on ice were already dead before they put them in there because that was how they disposed of cadavers. But I get the impression that some of the people that were around us were at least still alive, and they just didn't turn the life support back on when they got Sean out, which is like, what the fuck? He's too far gone, unfortunately. I can see that. Sorry, son. Still haven't gotten an answer to my question yet, so still gonna go along with it till I do. Hopefully it actually happens soon. Because I'm starting to get a little agita about this. Yeah, what do you mean, bruh? I got nothing. I got nothing, man. I don't even know anymore. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, actually, good. I can go talk to Dr. Lee while I'm here. So maybe we can go do that in a minute. Attend directorate meeting. This is going to be great. I wonder if Dr. Lee's at the directorate meeting, because that'll make it a lot harder to talk to her. Do I need healing? That's not going to tell me. Oh, no, it does, because HP 271 of 271. Never mind. Yeah, oh boy, here we go. Metroid knows something. Metroid knows something is about to happen. We'll find out what that something is in just a moment.
Remember to conserve power at every opportunity.
Yeah, you too. He's walking real slow, so I'm gonna walk to the meeting real slow with him. I still can't believe he bought that. Like, oh my god. Probably if you told him that you, like, if you directly said, yeah, I let them go, he probably wouldn't have bought it. He probably would have been like, you know, no, get the hell out of here. But do you like shareholder meetings? Very exciting gameplay ahead. Oh boy. Speak to Dr. Lee in Advanced Systems. Okay, I'll wait until she goes there.
We begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is she doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first.
Okay.
The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware.
As we've seen firsthand today.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach.
Okay.
Otherwise, internally, things are as tight as
I wonder what breach that is.
Dr. Ayo has been keeping an
I mean,
eye
I
on
guess
things
Bunker Hill,
topside.
but...
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end...
That breach was a snide way of saying you shouldn't be here. Oh, okay. That flew completely over my head.
To be discussing it? Given, well, considering all parties present?
What does that mean?
Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
Don't think so.
I don't think so.
It's all right. I wouldn't expect you to have.
Unless this has to do with the Gen 3 synths.
Classified from the beginning. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity.
That's true.
I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on.
Right.
With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases.
I can see that being a problem eventually, yeah.
Sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
So, what kind of compromises?
What kind of compromises?
We have at times had to rely on drawing power from above-ground installations. It risks personnel and equipment, but no longer. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever.
Oh.
It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
So is that why you guys have been getting so much more prevalent above ground then?
Can you tell me more about this reactor?
Certainly. It was originally built for the Commonwealth Institute of Technology before the war, but was only for testing.
So it's like the Large Hadron
advanced
Collider,
technology, made
except
a great
nuclear
many
power plant.
improvements, and are finally nearly ready to activate it. The reactor
So
is
finally
special,
nearly isn't necessary, but
recent
I get your
tests have
point.
determined we
You're
have
excited.
A few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to phase 3.
Okay.
And to how you will help.
So what's
Yes,
phase
Dr.
3 is the reactor.
Previously,
but
we would
what
rely on
specifically
power
is
for
phase 3?
above-ground operations, yet, well, he is gone.
I'm sure
While
Justin
not
wants
able
to
fund
specifically
putting
use the
my own
coursers
mother
instead of
on
me, but
She has proven more than capable of handling herself.
Yes,
thanks.
This is not a matter for debate. There is one more subject.
Put him in his place, son!
I don't know.
Kick his ass! Sorry, I know I'm not planning on working with him, but at least I can cheer for him when he does something right.
Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry.
I don't like where this is going.
Difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful.
For what?
I'm sorry to say I am dying.
What?
Can't be
Please,
serious.
From
everyone,
what?
please, I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
How are you dying?
You're dying?
I'm afraid so. A very aggressive form of cancer.
What do you mean?
Believe me when I say we've done everything we can. We can talk more.
They haven't, though. Like, what? You guys have been down here for 200 years and you didn't figure out how to cure cancer yet?
Cannot survive without leadership.
Sean, you need to understand these people used you.
Govern with the best interest of all in mind.
They didn't cure your broken nerves in your brain when you were a child, and now they aren't curing your cancer.
Boy.
This place needs to go.
Really? Seems a poor choice.
Did I just get promoted? I was so busy
isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline
getting
insubordinate tone
about over my son having
The
cancer.
Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my mother has already proven herself more than capable in that regard.
Well,
This
thanks
will
for
conclude
having
this.
faith in me, son.
Thank you.
It's great to have you here.
Well, that's a bombshell and a half. Yeah, apparently they haven't cured cancer yet. I feel like they should have gotten... They used you. So okay, I can actually see the cancer thing being, like, plausible, though, right? Because if they used his DNA as the basis for the Gen 3 synths, they would have been conducting very aggressive experiments on his DNA in order to get it to work. Now, I would imagine that would take place in, like, you know, a vat or something outside of his body. But depending on how invasive the treatments were to get his DNA for the synths, that could cause some of the cells to grow violently and out of control. So it's plausible, but again, I feel like that should have been your focus, is curing cancer. Yeah, hostile takeover time. Maybe soon.
I often wonder what the Institute's founders would think of our accomplishments.
You guys have done a lot.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once.
You could say that.
I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
I mean, I can do it, but, like... I wish it didn't have to happen under these circumstances.
What would it mean to be in charge?
Most divisions of the Institute are fairly autonomous, perfectly capable of functioning without intervention. Where those divisions interact, however, problems can arise.
Like with Dr.
You
Ayo.
lead the Directorate in setting policy, resolving disputes, and the like.
How can I do that if they don't trust me, though?
And the Institute.
They all see me as some, well, sorry for putting it this way, but cancerous growth here.
Latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There
Uh-huh.
are hard decisions ahead for all of us, but for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
Well, you're right about that, son, but I don't know if your idea of the right thing and my idea of the right thing are going to be the same thing. What a load of shit! That's the implication. Yeah, they did a lot of DNA meddling with them. These bastards put my son through the ringer. They can't do this to anyone else. Ever again. Also, like that terminal said, Sean is very opposed to anything approaching transhumanism, so I feel like he signed his own death warrant. Yeah, he probably could have, like, I don't know, nipped it in the bud earlier. I almost feel like in a world like this where radiation is so prevalent, cancer wouldn't even be a thing, though. Like, I feel like they would have figured it out years ago because radiation is currently one of the main forms of treatment for cancer in our world. And apparently in the Fallout universe, it doesn't cause you to go terminal from, you know, the chemo and shit, potentially. So, I don't know. I almost feel like it could have worked better in this world. But, I mean, again, it's plausible. But I almost feel like in this world, it wouldn't be a place you'd have to worry about that. I don't know. I don't know, man, but they hurt my boy! They put my boy through the ringer and now he has cancer, and they can't do that to anyone else. Ever again. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, but hell hath no fury as well like a woman protecting her child. They will see what happens when they mess with my kid. Alright, Advanced Systems is over here. I don't know if I gave Dr. Lee enough time to get back here, but we'll see. If not, I guess I'll just wait for her. Maybe take a quick nap in the bed there. What time is it anyway? Oh, 9:34. Yeah, they should all be here. Alright. But yet now I don't know how I feel about all this, because, like, I can't keep working with these people. Oh, hey, there's the synth Sean. Maybe I should ask him how to feel about this situation. Hey, kid.
You like reading. You can learn all sorts of things from books.
Yeah, I heard you're into the Massachusetts Surgical Journal. I wish I brought my collection with me.
Hi, Sean.
I heard you're going to be in charge of the Institute someday. That sounds like a lot of work. Are you excited or scared?
A little of both, I guess. How did you hear?
You heard that, did you? From who?
Oh, I heard Dr. Higgs saying that you weren't qualified, and we'd all be lucky if we lived another 2 years.
Oh my god. That's hilarious, actually. How's Father?
Tell me some more about Father.
Father? He doesn't come to visit very much these days. And even when he does, he usually just talks to the other doctors.
Yeah, that sounds like him. Alright, kid, we'll have fun in here. This is going to be grown-up talk, though, between me and Dr. Lee, okay? So nothing that you hear in here can go out there, okay? Do you promise me that? Okay, hang on, I'll teach you.
Do you think it's weird that I've never seen the surface?
No, I wouldn't think that they would let you up there, but okay, here, I'm going to put my pinky out, okay? Up on the surface, this used to be a thing. We would put our pinkies out, we put our pinkies together, and we promise that we'll keep that promise, okay? So can you pinky promise me that you won't say anything about what you hear in this room?
I feel like people look at me for way too long. I don't like it.
Trust me, kid, at some point that won't be a problem anymore. Anyway, let's just say he pinky promised me, okay? We'll just make it seem like, yes, he just did. Dr. Lee!
Dr. Lee.
You again. What do you want now? You're obviously here for a reason, and you've already spoiled my experiment, so you might as well spit it out.
Sorry, I just wanted to talk to the son that I never got to meet.
I've been sent by the Brotherhood of Steel to find you.
I really hope Synth Sean is not a tattletale.
It was just a matter of time before your people would track me down. I've been looking over my shoulder for almost a decade, waiting for them to send someone like you to kill me.
They want you dead?
Why would we want you dead?
I did some
I would say they
the
instead of we, but...
Even though Lyons let me go, there were a few others in the ranks that thought I knew too much.
Like Maxon.
That's why I came to the Institute. It was the only place that I thought I'd be out of the Brotherhood's reach and still be able to do my research.
Uh-huh.
Since Father trusts you, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
But you guys are mutually exclusive with the Brotherhood. What do you mean, give me the benefit of the doubt?
Say what you came here to
Excuse
say,
me.
and then leave me alone.
Okay, if you want me to.
The Brotherhood needs your help, Doctor.
I feel like I should have
help.
closed the door before I did this.
Why? They seemed to have everything under control when I left.
Just quick draw the shotgun, teleport out of there, and never look back. Yeah, there you go. Literally just gossiped about what another doctor said. I don't trust him not to say it. Yeah.
Did you abandon
Well,
any projects you wanted to complete?
this
You
could be
should know better
problematic.
than to ask me that. If they didn't tell you what I was working on, they didn't want you to know.
Not the first time
I'm
I've heard
certainly
that
not gonna
one.
Put my neck on the line and spread their dirty little secrets. Tell me something.
Okay.
Why would I possibly want to come crawling back to the Brotherhood? What reason would I have to throw away everything I've accomplished here?
Well, you have good reason to mistrust the Brotherhood. I would do the same thing if I was in your shoes, but I don't know about this place either, Dr. Lee.
I give up. What would it take to convince you?
All right, I'll play your game.
I could
had
have
a
passed the
colleague
speech check, but it probably would have had progressively harder
Several months
ones,
ago, there was
like
an
with
accident in
Brandis,
his
so.
lab, and he was killed.
Ah, but this Dr. Virgil thing I know
Laboratory
about.
sealed, saying that it was contaminated.
What a bunch
The
of
incident
bullshit.
never sat right with me. The more I asked about it, the more I felt like Father was deflecting my questions.
He was,
If you
to be
bring me
fair.
solid information on what killed him, I'll take it as a favor from the Brotherhood and consider your offer.
That
Do we have a
seems
deal?
incredibly flippant of you, and it seems way too easy. Something like this in New Vegas would have taken 6 hours, but
I already have something that might convince you.
How did you?
maybe not 6
You'll
hours,
never
maybe
know.
I'm
Just let me see
exaggerating,
what you've
but
got.
it would have taken a quest or two, so.
Here you go.
A holotape. This better not be a waste of my time.
Yeah, I did pick that holotape up. I knew it would come in handy one of these times. Turns out, that time is now.
I'm gonna make sure the whole program is shut down. If not for good, then at least for years to come. After that, I know what I'm about to do will be seen as a betrayal. Treason, he'll probably call it. So, I'm leaving. I have a plan. And if it works, I'll be somewhere safe. Somewhere not even the coursers can find me.
Well, he was right. The radiation in the glowing sea would fry
Lied
their
to
brains,
me.
so.
They lied to me, and I didn't even realize how far it went. All those years of loyalty. For nothing.
I mean, you did good work while you were here, but it wasn't right that they lied to you.
No matter how badly it hurts, you needed to hear the truth.
And for that, I thank you. I came to the Institute to get away from the Brotherhood. From the whole world. I just wanted to do my research in peace. Father took me in and gave me access to cutting-edge technology that I only dreamed existed. I became jaded. I thought that the Institute cared, that they wanted to better mankind.
I mean, they do want to better mankind, specifically the mankind that's down here.
People you're working for. Then it's all pointless. If they lied about Dr. Virgil, who knows what else they've been lying about? Or what their plans are for my work.
I couldn't
I'll
tell
make
you
my
that
way
one,
back
but
to
it
the
can't be
Brotherhood.
good.
But I'm going to have to do it on my own. I can't take any chances being seen with you.
All right, then.
Tell whoever sent you that they've just regained the services of Dr. Madison Lee.
Can do. I will give you an opportunity to take this moment with my synthetic son. And then we'll go from there. The Brotherhood never lied. Man, that is a dick dialogue option. Yeah, a lot of the right side dialogue options in this game are just the dick option, basically. Like, the left side is usually the sarcastic or the get on with it option. The bottom is usually the be nice about it option. The top is the inquisitive option. And the right is the being a dickhead option. So, typically, doing those ends up... I mean, it usually ends up with you continuing the quest anyway. Like, I don't think there are very many situations where you can just say no with the right side option. But, there you go. Alright, so we gotta go back to the Pridwin. Let me fax myself to my house first. I know, I'm sorry. I'm making you guys sit through 2 loading screens in order to maintain the roleplay, but I just feel like it's better to do it this way. Keeps me and my buddy out of danger and harm. Alright, back to the Pridwin. Maybe this time I'll remember to give the technical documents to Proctor Quinlan. Getting her back means you get to learn more about what she was working on, which is fun. I'm trying to kind of like thread the needle as much as I can with this. Again, I don't know what's happening going forward in the game, but I'm trying to thread the needle as much as I can to get as many plot details as I can out of every faction before I decide, okay, this is the one I want to side with, you know. That was one of the reasons why I was hoping that we'd eventually find out the answer to that question that I asked at the beginning of the episode. Why is my son regretting and asking what if? We know now he has a terminal aggressive form of cancer. So I would also regret and ask what if in those cases. Dogmeat found something. Where is it, buddy? Take me to it. So I'm glad we got the answer to that question. I wish it wasn't the news that we got, but I'm glad we got the answer to the question. Are you having trouble with those stairs? Is it up here, buddy? Yeah, it is. 308 rounds, jet, and a connecting rod, along with some ammo that has nothing in it. We don't need the jet, buddy. I'll take the rest of this stuff, though. No, okay, just a pack of cigarettes. Actually, this place right here is interesting to me. There is a mission. I know I mentioned, okay, I don't want to go on the research patrols or something like that with Proctor Quinlan. But the research patrols are actually, if you don't mind shooting Brotherhood scribes in the forehead from up here, the research patrol missions can actually be considered an infinite source of caps and experience in the game because they consider the failure of the mission to still be a success, and you still get the experience and caps for failing this mission. So what you do is you go to Proctor Quinlan, you tell him you want to join a research patrol. He'll say, okay, so the scribe initiate is going to meet you down at the airport. Then you come over here, preferably at night so no one can see you. You crouch down real low, you find the scribe down there, and you snipe them from a distance. And if they die, you can go back to Quinlan, tell them that they died on the patrol, and he'll say, okay, well, do better next time, and then he'll give you experience and caps for completing the mission. Like, what the fuck? How many scribes do you guys have that you can just afford to let them get shot in the head? That's not okay. And now sponsored by CIT VPN. Yeah, there you go. No spoilers, but the game will explicitly tell you when the point of no return happens. It will say, doing this will make this faction hostile forever. Good, because I would hate to have accidentally made a situation worse for myself by making a faction hostile without knowing. Before I forget, let's go give Proctor Quinlan those technical documents. Then we'll talk to Maxon about Dr. Lee being here. And maybe get the experience for it as well.
Attention all personnel.
That would be nice.
Research patrols are a crucial facet of our operation here in the Commonwealth. Any Brotherhood soldiers that have not received a research patrol assignment should speak to Proctor Quinlan immediately.
Research patrol?
Nah, I don't need infinite experience in caps. I'll just take the caps.
I found some technical documents for you.
Are you going to cause the second apocalypse at this point? We will see. I don't know. I hope not, but maybe we'll end up getting to a point where we'll want to see the world burn. Right now, I just want to see the Institute burn. And I suppose being part of the Brotherhood will help in that department, but I don't know if I trust them with the Commonwealth afterward. I need to do some, like, serious thinking about how I want all these factions to interact. We need to create, like, a catch-22 where they can't just decide, okay, hostile takeover time, and just take over the whole of Boston without my permission. Alright, we gave him the documents. Let's go talk to Maxon.
I received word that Dr. Lee is returning to us. How cooperative do you think she'll be?
Well, you guys didn't exactly leave her on a positive note, so...
Will she be harmed if she doesn't cooperate?
Absolutely not.
Good.
We have big plans for Dr. Lee, including the resurrection of one of her greatest creations. The last thing we'd want to do is kill the Golden Goose.
I don't like that you're smiling about that. It makes you sound like you're using her like a tool, which,
she's been under the Institute's
to be fair, you are.
influence for the last decade, and we can't afford to take any chances. Now, on to other matters.
Oh boy.
Thanks to the success of your reconnaissance efforts, it's time to advance our operations to the next phase. I want you to report to Proctor Ingram at the airport. She has a special project that requires your immediate attention.
A special
Once again,
project, huh?
You don't fail to impress. Dismissed.
Alright then. That takes care of that. We're level 28. Been getting good levels today. Alright, so level 28 is the first level where the third rank of the science perk is available. So that means we're going to be making an upgrade to Righteous Authority very soon. And also our power armor, but we'll work on that when we actually need it again. Which, considering we're doing missions for the Brotherhood for right now, might be happening sooner than we think. I gotta tell you though, it's a terrible day for Rain.
Superstructure integrity green.
The day that I find out that my son has cancer, and the day that the Brotherhood decides that they might have the weapons needed to take on the Institute. But what kind of special project is Proctor Ingram working on? Find out on the next episode of Fallout 4, the Stream Edition, which will be happening probably tomorrow on, right here on Monochromium Live. Well, we know that part. But it'll be happening tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time because we got lucky. They didn't come mow the lawn today. I don't want to take any chances though, so I'm probably going to make a lot of the earlier stuff. Like a lot of the streams earlier in the week, just so I can avoid them mowing the lawn in our ears. So there you go. But yeah, anyway, we'll come back tomorrow and we'll keep going with Liberty Reprimed. As someone who played Fallout 3, this will be very nostalgic for me, I'm sure. Thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to Twitch and YouTube to check out the stream. I will see all of you on the next one, which, as I said, will probably be tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I'll post the schedule up on Twitch, YouTube, and Discord as soon as I am done with the description of this episode. Glad you said that. You almost flashed back to Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, we're not quite at that point yet. Not only does he have cancer, but he didn't say, "I love you too." That's the real tragedy. Yeah, what the hell, son? Come on. That's the litmus test, man. That's how I know that you were conditioned properly. Anyway, until tomorrow, everybody, take care and have a good one. I'm going to go under here so we don't get all wet. See? Even he agrees. It's not worth it getting all wet.